Good morning and welcome, one and all, to Pacific414 Pop Talk. I am your host, Mike. With me right now is my guest at this time, Common Sense America, aka the Smoking Patriot. Hope you're all doing well here on this Sunday morning. We've got news to talk about, and normally I would have posted a recorded 8-minute, 9-minute version of Pop Talk this Sunday morning, but like I said, we got news to talk about. So here I am live. And before we begin, I want to say hello to Spock's Friday Nights and the Nerdporeal Lifeform. Welcome, gentlemen. So, should we get right into it, or should we wait?
Let's save the best for last.
That's what I was thinking. Sorry, folks, we're going to make you wait this morning. But, like I said, we've got things to talk about. And I'm sure you've heard the latest news about Gina Carano and the media.
So it was something regarding the Whoopi Goldberg comments or something like that. Basically, how Whoopi only got like a 2-week suspension, and everyone's treating her with kid gloves. But all I do is post something that actually factually happened. It was something along those lines, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, then yeah.
By the way, Spock, I'm gonna go ahead and send you the DM on Discord with the invite if you'd like to join us. The more, the merrier. All right, so that's been sent. Let me get back to my other screen so I can keep an eye on the chat. All right, so we have an article here from Bounding in the Comics, and it was posted on their website on February 3rd. It's written by John F. Trent, and it says, Gina Carano calls for a conversation over cancellation after Whoopi Goldberg was suspended from The View. So, the article begins by saying, Terror on the Prairie actress Gina Carano responded to the recent suspension of Whoopi Goldberg following her comments about the Holocaust on The View, calling for a conversation over cancellation. All right, Spock. But if I need you, I might call you in. Goldberg was suspended 2 weeks by ABC News president Kim Godwin, who stated, effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her raw and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take the time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments, Godwin added. She concluded, the entire ABC News organization stands in solidarity with our Jewish colleagues, friends, family, and communities. And then here's a screenshot of that tweet put out by ABC News PR. In other words, Disney. The suspension came after a discussion about the removal of graphic novel Mouse from a Tennessee school district's curriculum. During the discussion, Goldberg stated, if you're going to do this, then let's be truthful about it because the Holocaust isn't about race. No, it's not about race. When Joy Behar countered, saying they consider Jews a different race, Goldberg responded, it's not about race. It's not about race. When asked what she thinks the Holocaust is about, Goldberg answered, it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about. These are two white groups of people, she then asserted. But you are missing the point. You're missing the point. The minute you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white. Because black, white, Jews, Italian, everybody eats each other. If you are uncomfortable, if you hear about Mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say, oh my God, I wonder if that's me? No, that's not what they're going to say. They're going to say, I don't want to be like that. Most kids, they don't want to be cruel, she added. After Anna Navarro asserted it is necessary for kids to learn about the Holocaust, Goldberg added to learn about man's inhumanity to man, however it exposes itself. And before I continue, I do want to welcome A-Man Fate. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome.
All right, so then the article continues by saying Goldberg would then apologize for her comments on Twitter, stating, on today's show, I said the Holocaust is not about race, but about man's inhumanity to man. I should have said it is about both. As Jonathan Greenblatt from the Anti-Defamation League shared, the Holocaust is about the Nazis' systemic annihilation of the Jewish people, who they deemed to be an inferior race. I stand corrected, Goldberg stated. The Jewish people around the world have always had my support, and that will never waver. I'm sorry for the hurt caused, she concluded, written with my sincerest apologies, Whoopi Goldberg. Goldberg would then appear on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, where she further elaborated on her thoughts about the Holocaust and her comments made on The View. I'm not going to play this video, but I will actually put the link to this video.
Yeah, I've seen that video, and because I saw both. I saw the clip of what she actually said, and then when she goes on Stephen Colbert's show, all she does is dig herself a deeper hole, in my opinion. Because she says, "Well, I want to expand on what I said." No, you really don't. What you need to do is just shut up, actually. Because again, the Holocaust is something that was a terrible thing. Even so, as somebody who loves history and a little history thing, under Stalin, Stalin was no angel. Okay, he killed millions of his own people and whatnot. But when the Russian troops started finding the concentration camps, they were disgusted with what they were seeing. Okay, the Americans were disgusted with what they were seeing and everything. It's not something, and I've been to it. I've been to a Holocaust memorial site before. It's that's not something you joke around about. Granted, I'm not saying you joke around about any mass killings of any kind, but specifically the Holocaust is one that people for some reason either want to forget about or just act like it was no big deal kind of thing. And then when they're called out, all of a sudden they're like, "Well, I'm sorry. I've always stood with the Jewish people." It's like, "What? You're just saying that to try and garner some good support, you know?" That's all you're doing. Because there's a woman, she posted a video with her granddaughter or great granddaughter. She is the only surviving member of her family of the Holocaust. All of her family was killed in the Holocaust. She's the only living member left. And she's like, she came out against Whoopi Goldberg. She's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
No,
And as
unless you were there, you have no
yeah,
idea.
you have no idea what that was like at all. And for her to say this, granted, this is also the same woman that when they had Rand Paul on a few years ago, and he was talking about, loosening gun laws and everything throughout the country and getting rid of certain laws and and stuff like that. This is the same woman who said, "Well, I own a gun," and he's like, "Oh, okay, so you know the difference between like," and he started talking of just basic gun differences that 30 seconds of research could easily find you. And Whoopi Goldberg started making these asinine comments. Like, I'm like, okay, no, sorry. No, you just shot yourself in your own foot. You just made yourself sound like an idiot. Don't talk about something that you know literally nothing about, that you're not educated in. Clearly, she's not educated in about the Holocaust. Because if you stood with the Jewish people, you wouldn't be making statements like that. You wouldn't.
No, and the article goes on to say Goldberg told Colbert, because I feel being black, when we talk about race, it's a very different thing to me. So I said I felt that the Holocaust wasn't about race, and people got very, very angry and are still angry. I'm getting, all the mail from folks and very real anger because people feel very differently. But I thought it was a salient discussion. As a black person, I think of race as being something that I can see. So I see you and I know what race you are. And the discussion was about how I felt about that. I felt that it was really more about man's inhumanity to man and how horrible people can be to people. And we're seeing it manifest itself these days, she added. Goldberg went on, but people are very, very angry. And they said, no, no, we're our race. And I understand. I understand. I felt differently. I respect everything everyone is saying to me. And, I don't want to fake apologize. I'm very upset that people misunderstood what I'm saying. And so, because of it, they're saying I'm anti Semitic and that I'm denying the Holocaust and all these other things, which, would never occur to me to do. I thought we were having a discussion about race, which everyone, I think, is having. Colbert would then chime in, claiming whiteness is a construct created by colonial powers during the beginning of the colonial imperialist era in order to exploit other people, and that could apply it to all different kinds of people. That idea of race and the American experience tends to be based on skin. Goldberg responded, yes, and so that is what race means to me. When you talk about being a racist, I was saying you can't call this racism. This was evil. This wasn't based on the skin. You couldn't tell who was Jewish. They had to delve deeply to figure it out. After Colbert talked about the Nazis identified Jews and made them wear a yellow star, Goldberg stated, my point is they had to do the work. If the Klan is coming down the street and I'm standing with a Jewish friend and neither one, well, I'm going to run. But if my friend decides not to run, they'll get passed by most of the times because you can't tell who is Jewish. She elaborated on that point. It's not something that people say, oh, that person is Jewish or this person is Jewish. And so that's what I was trying to explain. And I understand that not everybody sees it that way. And that I did a lot of harm, I guess, to myself. And people, decided I was all these other things. I'm not actually not. And I'm incredibly torn up by being told these things about myself. I get it, folks are angry. I accept that. And I did it to myself. This is my thought process, and I will work hard not to think that way again, she asserted. Kohlberg would then ask Goldberg, now, it, let me start that over again. I messed it up. Sorry, folks. Goldberg would then ask if Goldberg now realizes that the Nazis saw it as race. She responded, well, see, this is what's interesting to me because the Nazis lied. It wasn't. They had issues with ethnicity, not with race. Because most Nazis were white people and most of the people they were attacking were white people. She went on, so to me, I'm thinking, how can you say it's about race if you're fighting each other? It all really began because I said how when we explained to children what happened in Nazi Germany, I said this wasn't racial. This was about white on white. And everybody said, no, no, no. It was racial. And so that's what this all came from. So once again, don't write me anymore. I feel I already know. I get it. And I'm going to take your word for it and never bring it up again, she concluded. See, now, this is just my opinion, folks. This isn't Patriot's opinion or anyone else's opinion. But with her being on the defensive like that, she does know that she's in the wrong, but she also needs to know when to keep quiet. Because, like Patriot said, she is making it worse on herself. Okay, and at the bottom here, it says Carano responded to Goldberg's suspension on Twitter and said, I want to send blessings and love out to the Jewish community. When I was being smeared, canceled, and misunderstood, it was a Jewish man, Ben Shapiro, who reached out and asked if I'd like to talk about it. Maybe Whoopi could talk to Ben. Conversation over cancellation. And then Ben Shapiro, for his part, described Goldberg's comments as insidious. He wrote on Twitter, Whoopi Goldberg explaining the Holocaust wasn't about race because these were two groups of white people isn't just insipid, it's insidious. It's downplaying the minority status of Jews in order to uphold, and I'm going to quote him exactly. So if you're offended by language, that's why I put the warning at the beginning of the intro. In order to uphold bullshit intersectional arguments that justify anti Semitism today. And then he elaborated it in a short thread stating the intersectional argument is that Jews are white people and that Jews are disproportionately successful thanks to white supremacy. Because racism is an Amos plus power, and Jews are powerful because they are white, anti-Semitism from non-white supremacists isn't bigotry. This logic is why the left will condemn anti-Semitic attacks like the one at the Tree of Life, but quickly memory whole anti-Semitic attacks by Black Hebrew Israelis in New Jersey or radical Muslims in Texas. Then he goes on to elaborate. He elaborated this logic is also why the left will embrace and or justify Islamic who wish to destroy the state of Israel rather than siding with a liberal democracy that includes a significant Muslim minority. Anti Semitism in this theory is only present when it springs from actual white supremacists, Shapiro explained. Other acts of anti Semitism are just a reflection of dispossessed lashing out against those who have institutional power. He concluded the attempt to abstract the causes of the Holocaust from Jew hatred to man's inhumanity to man is actually a way of obscuring and covering for anti Semitism. And it says in another tweet, Shapiro wrote, if Whoopi Goldberg had ever expressed sympathy with a conservative because in her entire life she'd be out of a job today. But leftism confers immunity from anti Semitism concerns, as we already know, from Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib. I'm probably saying the last name wrong.
Rashida
I do
Tlaib.
apologize. Tlaib, yeah. So I do apologize for any mispronunciations and
Well, I think you
anything
spelled that
else.
wrong too. Yeah.
Yeah. He would also describe her comments as anti-Semitic in response to National Review editor Richard Lowry writing, Whoopi Goldberg says something actually anti-Semitic, no problem. Elias Shapiro says racism is bad, problem. So that's the article. I want to know what you all think. You, Patriot, all those in the chat. And I do also want to say good morning to Captain Trek. How are you doing this morning, sir? Oh,
Yeah.
what do you think, Patriot?
I mean, I think Whoopi Goldberg had no business. The problem is she's looking at it strictly from a skin tone perspective, which is racist comments just on its own. Because let's not forget that the just to assume that just because you look white doesn't mean that you'll just get passed over and everything. Okay? When you're talking about the Jewish people, they have been persecuted for thousands of years by various
Hmm.
either nations or religions throughout the course of their lifetime, you know? Um, and to just dismiss it and make it sound like it's a racial thing where your skin tone defines who you are, that's a racist comment within itself. So isn't
Yep.
it, so it's anti-Semitic. It's also racist because what if there is a black Jewish person? What if there is a Asian Jewish person? Okay, not all Asians are lighter skinned. There's darker skinned Asians. There's very tan Asians. You know, um, so her comments are, again, the more she talks, the deeper the hole she's digging. Unfortunately, because she's loved by the left, and I'm not trying to make this political, but this is just true statement, because she is on The View and she makes a lot of comments that are of a left leaning nature, she won't get any pushback, you know? Gina
Hmm.
Carano, who we don't actually know her political affiliation. Uh, if I go strictly based off her comments and posts that she's put, I'd say she's more right leaning. I'm not saying she's completely right leaning, but she's never outwardly said, "Oh, I'm a Republican, I'm a libertarian, I'm a independent, I'm this, I'm that." But Gina Carano is a free thinker, and Gina Carano calls out stuff. And I love what Gina Carano's tweet was. You know, when I was getting demonized and for saying a true statement, by the way, what she posted, and I saw what she posted before it was taken down. I saw what she posted. It was 100% factual what she said, what she posted.
Hmm.
Ben Shapiro reached out to her, and I watched that Daily Wire exclusive.
So
They
did
had a
I.
long conversation, and I would honestly, I would love to see Ben Shapiro and Whoopi Goldberg talk about this, because tell that to a Jewish man, an educated Jewish man. I don't always agree with Ben Shapiro, but the one thing I can say about those one-on-one conversations that he posts, like once a week and everything, or once every 2 weeks, however often they are, they're at least open conversations where they might not always agree, but there is at least free dialogue expressed and open thought expressed. So you can say, "Oh, I agree with Ben," or "I agree with the guest," or "I partially agree with the guest," or "I partially agree with Ben." That is how this whole thing could have easily been resolved. Open, free discussion with somebody who of the opposite side to which you are making these references to,
Hmm.
you know? Um, Another person that would have been great would be Andrew Klavan. He is a I guess you could call him a former Jew, but he's now a Christian. He's also part of the Daily Wire group. Talk with him because he was born Jewish, raised Jewish, and then he became a Christian. I forget how far into his life and everything he converted from Judaism to Christianity, but still he knows a lot about the Jewish culture and everything himself. Um,
Hmm.
Being educated is how these ridiculous asinine comments are defeated. If you educate yourself, these comments would have never happened.
Yep.
And I would say Whoopi's comments are a grander problem with what we have in the world today is nobody wants to have the hard conversations when someone says something stupid. You either are going to your corner, your tribe, whatever. Okay, we shouldn't be like that. Even when it comes to sci-fi, I think Picard is a trash heap. I think Discovery is a trash heap. I think all three of of the sequel movies are trash, including Solo. So four of them. Okay, but do you know what? I will still have an open conversation with somebody who loves them and talk about them. We might never agree, but I'd rather have open dialogue about it so each become more educated as to why we either love or hate said thing. We walk away, we have a beer or a cigar, we shake hands at the end of it, we're good. That's how
Yeah. And
that civility. Let's bring back some civility, not embracing stuff like this. Because people were embracing this, by the way. There were people embracing this and saying, "Oh, Whoopi was right," and everything like that. It's like, I'm sorry. I don't care where you stand in society on whatever topic you're talking about. It doesn't have to be racial. But free dialogue should be the thing, to expose this to sunlight. So,
Yeah, and you know, I have a subscriber, Alan Copeland, and he and I, we don't always agree on my takes when it comes to different TV shows or movies, but we still have a dialogue. And I'm fine with him not agreeing with me, and me not always agreeing with him, because if we all agreed with each other, life would be pretty boring.
yeah, you need, again, freedom of thought because nobody ever
Hmm.
100% agrees with each other. Even like, you know, my parents are right leaning, but even on certain topics, I don't 100% agree with them. I don't. But we still have those open discussions at least from
Hmm.
time to time and whatnot. And will we end up agreeing after that discussion? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But it's a free and open discussion at least.
Yeah, and that's what you need to have. You need to be open to hear other people's points of view, other
Hmm.
people's ideas. Otherwise, if you're closed minded, there's no room for you to grow.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
So, moving on to another Gina Carano article from Bounding into Comics. This one was posted on Friday, February 4th, and it says Gina Carano rebukes the media lies about her. Have journalists completely given up on research? Goes on to say Terror on the Prairie actress Gina Carano rebuked one of the biggest media lies told about her after the Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm fired her from The Mandalorian. Carano was fired via a statement from an anonymous Disney spokesman, and Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their culture and religious identities are adherent and abhorrent, and unacceptable, the spokesman said. And I have stated my thoughts on it. All she was doing, and I'm stating them right now, all she was doing was going back to history. What happened to history? We all know what happened to history. I mean, I just read that article about Whoopi Goldberg's comments, and for anyone who has read up on World War II, guess what? Things weren't very pretty over there in Europe during World War II, especially with the Yazis.
Hmm.
Okay, it goes on to say this announcement came after Carano shared a screenshot from Warrior Prestigium podcast to her Instagram stories, and the post read, Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers, but by their neighbors, even by children. And that's true. I mean, the diarrhea Anne Frank, her own neighbors ratted her family out.
Hmm.
It then featured a quote that stated, because history is edited, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Accompanying these words was an image of children wielding blunt weapons chasing down a woman in undress. And that's the image right there. That's the post right there. And whether you want to admit it or not, that is an ugly part of history. And that's an ugly part of history that we need to tell younger generations about. We need to tell ourselves about. We need to remind ourselves so it never happens again.
Hmm. Because, I mean, and whether people want to like it or not, history is not all sunshine and gumdrops and leprechauns and unicorns and rainbows and giant pots of gold. History is also very dark and grim. Lots of bad stuff. Yes, there's lots of good, but there's also lots of bad. And to ignore the bad stuff and only try and cherry pick what you want means that you are not truly learning from history. There's that old saying, those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And that's across all
Hmm.
spectrums. That's across militarily, culturally, economically, religious, all across all genres of history. That applies, you know? And honestly, I would even say it goes to whether political, I would say it even comes to what medical choice you choose, you know, and whatnot. Again, it's across the spectrum. But Gina Carano's point is so accurate to today's day and age.
Hmm.
It is so true. Yet people want to stick their heads in the ground. And the problem is that if people don't speak up like Gina Carano, you might lose that opportunity in the future to speak up because it was too late because you didn't bother opening your lips or sending emails to representatives or going out there and standing for what you believe in. And again, this is not meant to be a political thing. This is across the spectrum. I'm talking about culturally, economically. I'm
Hmm.
talking across the spectrum here. You know, being
Yeah.
quiet has never done any populace good.
No, it hasn't. And, another thing that's happening is people and their beliefs on the vaccine. Some people, because they
Mm-hmm.
don't agree with other people, are going after that person saying, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. Everybody has their own beliefs. You
Mm-hmm.
need to learn to start respecting one another.
Yep. It's not hard. It takes effort, but it's
Hmm.
not hard. It's not hard at all.
No. But the problem is, in my opinion, people are making it hard.
I don't I don't know if it's people are making it hard. I think people just I think people just don't want to have hard conversations, you know? Whether you're for getting jabbed or not jabbed, whether you like Picard or you don't like Picard, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, whether you like guns or you don't like guns, whether you like capitalism or socialism, whether you like Catholicism or Hinduism, whatever. Two different parties who believe that believe or like different things. Again, and I just listed a myriad of all across the spectrum there.
Hmm.
Having the tough conversations sometimes is hard, but it's possible if you go in there with a non-confrontational attitude. If you go in there willing to present your point, listen, actively listen, not just listen for the sake of listening to appease the other person, actively listening to what they're saying, contemplating it, and coming up with a response so you have an open dialogue of free thinking that's flowing constantly. You might not agree. You might walk away from that table with that person still believing everything you did and not believing what anything the other person said, but at least the free flow of ideas that is calmly spoken, that is how healthy dialogue is established. And that is how problem solving can be resolved. Name calling, shadow banning, getting people removed from society, whether online or in real life or whatever means, by whatever means, that does nothing to benefit society. It only regresses society. It does not progress society and better society.
Nope. And Captain Trek here says at Pacific, people expect others to be overly sensitive and not being honest.
Mm-hmm.
That is very true. That is one thing you will get from this channel. When I feel the need to curse to get my point across, you will hear me curse. That's another reason why those warnings and disclaimers are up there. Because I know myself. There are times in order to get my point across, I do curse.
We both do. Yeah.
But, it'd be the same way if you were talking to me in person and I was talking to you and I wanted to get my point across. I'd be doing the same thing. Be no different. I'm not going to give you guys a face. I'm not going to give you guys the YouTube side, and I'm not going to give you guys the real life side. I'm going to give you me.
Mm-hmm. You're getting the real Pacific here. You're getting the real Patriot here. You're not getting, like, if you met me on the street, how I am when I'm on here with Mike, and how if you saw me on the street, they're the exact same person. I don't sugarcoat stuff. I'm careful with what I say at times, depending on the person, because, you got to kind of feel the audience to a degree with whom you're talking to. But
Yep.
I don't censor myself. I don't hide what I believe.
Well,
I'll
I was
tell you
even
what I
going to.
believe, so.
I was going to even say I do recognize when there are times where you have to be very tactful about what you're
Hmm.
saying.
Yep.
Extremely tactful sometimes.
Yep.
So, this article continues by saying, on top of this, Carano explained what she meant by the post in an interview with Ben Shapiro back in February 2021. So, 1 year ago. And real quick, I'm going to read this comment by Captain Trek. He says, Pacific414, when I get my new computer, I would like to join you. Mine is non-functional, so get a new one. All right, you're more than welcome to join. Anybody who's previously been on is more than welcome to join. Everybody who's never been on before, you're all welcome to join.
Yep.
I
I do
mean,
this on my tablet.
when I, do pop talks, yes, I know we get off track. How many times have I gotten on off track by myself or with a panel? I know we get off track, but I do try to keep myself focused on what I want to talk about during the show. And I love hearing other people's points of view. Because maybe your point of view will bring to light something I didn't even consider.
Yeah.
Because guess what? I'm not perfect, and I don't claim to be.
He claims to be perfect on State of Decay 2, but that's the only area he claims to
No,
be perfect.
wait. You watched that stream yesterday. You know I'm not perfect. All right. So the article says Carano said, I've been so inspired by the gentle spirit of the Jewish people going through that time. And I think I watched this older Holocaust survivor, her court case. They found this old Nazi man and he was old and they rolled him in on a stretcher and they really played this up and she forgave. She forgave him in court after putting her through what he did and she faced him. I'm always so inspired by these stories, and I always wondered how. How did that happen? So when posted that it wasn't something that I felt like was controversial, it was something that I thought, well, maybe all of us need to ask ourselves, how did that happen? Because it's important. Yes, it is important to ask, how did this happen? Why was this allowed to happen? I mean, I
Hmm.
can get into a whole history rant right now, but I'm choosing not to. But, people have asked over the years, why was it allowed to happen?
Because good people
And
didn't bother standing up.
nope. And Captain Trek says, I'm lucky to get on YouTube on this Chromebook. Yeah, it can be frustrating when your main power source, or your computer source in this case, decides to say, nope, can't do it anymore, boss.
Yeah. I mean, I do my YouTube stuff from a $300 laptop. Like a
Yeah,
cheap
but
one.
that's how I started doing content creation. You got to start somewhere.
Mhm.
And article continues by saying Carano elaborated the Post never said anything about Republicans or conservatives. It doesn't say anything about that in there. It was more like people tearing each other apart. And I thought it would be more of a thing where you bring people together. I was like, oh, this is like, bring people together. Chrono later added, I've got every single big publication saying she's comparing conservatives and Republicans to this. And that's not really what I was doing. I was saying we as a people, because I am still very fresh to this political spectrum. I have love for everyone. I'm not a hateful person. In fact, I go out of my way and have gone out of my way my entire life not to be a hateful person, Carano explained. Despite these clear facts, media outlets such as Desert News lied about Carano's social media posts claiming she compared conservatives with Jewish people and that those with conservative views were just like the Jewish people during the Holocaust. It wasn't just media outlets. Twitter also lied about Carano's social media posts when they editorialized discussion comparing Whoopi Goldberg's 2 week suspension to Carano's firing. Twitter wrote the following: following Whoopi Goldberg's 2 week suspension from The View from comments regarding the Holocaust, people discuss actor Gina Carano's firing from Disney series The Mandalorian for comments comparing COVID-19 restrictions to the Nazis' treatment of Jewish people. Carano would rebuke these lies, and specifically Desert News lied when she wrote on Twitter, have journals completely given up on research? Nowhere did I say Republicans were being treated like Jews in the Holocaust. I shared a meme. I translated info. Don't let the government pit you against each other, or history tells us that could go wrong. She's right. It's proven in history.
Mhm.
YouTuber Ryan Cannell reacted to Carano's rebuke and lampooned the media. They decided they're going to continue to smear Gina Carano to try to distract from what Whoopi Goldberg said. Yep, they're deflecting.
Mhm.
Later in the video, Cannell stated, there's a bunch of articles that are popping up that are all claiming Gina Carano said something that she absolutely did not. We've been over that on this show so many times. Nowhere was she saying, oh, well, Jews are just like this. What happened to Jews is just like this. It's a comparable thing. No. And I
Yeah.
do want to say good morning to the lovely Sherry. How are you doing this morning, Sherry? And it goes on to say, it's simply saying when you let the government pit people against each other for perceived differences, it can lead to bad things, whether that's over your politics, whether that's over your jab status, all of these things. But no, you continue to have the media lying about her, he continued. Cannell then explains how this lie spread from Twitter to media outlets like Desert News. You have big tech basically pushing out a complete and total lie. This is the narrative they are setting. Now you start to have different people running with that as a story. It's insane, but that's how it works. So all these media outlets start picking it up and repeating the same thing over and over again. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. It's an echo chamber.
And every side has them. Okay,
Yep.
whether you're pro Disney Star Wars, you're negative Disney Star Wars, again, every single thing out there, whether you're uh, pro Ford, anti Ford, whatever, you know, the big thing is don't live in an echo chamber. Don't. I try not to. I try and listen to the other side, regardless of what it is. Like I said, whether it comes to religion, culture, uh, firearms, nerdum, everything. I try and listen to the other side. Doesn't mean I agree with them, but I try and listen to them whenever they speak, so I get an understanding of what they're saying. Helps me grow as a person as well, because it causes
Mhm.
critical thinking to develop.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm going to admit I've been watching the last several days is what's going on up in Canada.
Hmm.
And the other day, the Ottawa police chief came out and he was reading a statement, and they were saying that people were being discriminated against, people were being hurt, this, that, and the other. And I'm going, okay, I don't know who wrote this statement for you, pal, but from all the different video feeds I've been watching on YouTube, I'm not seeing any violence whatsoever. People are saying hello to each other, shaking each other's hands. The cops are out there. They're laughing. They're having fun. They're playing street hockey, for crying out loud.
Hmm.
There's no riots. It's peaceful.
Yep. And that's the thing, is that when it comes to echo chambers are very addictive things to be in, because why? Because it's a place of comfort and safety. You know, you're with your fellow brethren, in one common idea. That's great and all, but the moment somebody comes in with even a slight uh, anything slightly different, they're like a plague victim. They're like how people with leprosy was treated back in the day. They're shunned from society. That
Mm-hmm.
little society that you've created and whatnot. Um, you know, I mean, again, whether you're for the trucker protest or against, you should allow free thinking, free speech, and free action. Obviously, if it goes violent in any way, well then yeah, there needs to be some form of authority stepped in. But
Mm-hmm.
again, unless it's actually proven, don't just take the words that anybody says and assume that's truth. Do your own research. Like when Pacific and I talk about Picard, we're not just saying that just because we hate Alex Kurtzman. We hate him, but we've seen it. We know,
Mm-hmm.
we compare it with other Star Trek movies, and we compare it with other Star Trek TV shows that Picard and its characters were in. So we're not just coming at it from a place of ignorance. We're coming from it knowing how these characters are, how the Star Trek universe is, and we point out why these things don't make sense. If somebody can come in and counter us with good actual statements with some element of a fact to them, I'm sure Pacific and I would openly hear what they had to say. Again,
Yeah,
does not mean we would agree with them, but we would give them an opportunity, each on our own platforms, to say their piece. We would do it and have that
I
discussion.
definitely would. I have
Hmm.
talked to people. I'm not saying on my platform, but in reality, in person, I have talked to people, heard their points of view, and like I said before, sometimes hearing their points of view, it gives me a perspective I didn't think of before.
Hmm.
So let's go ahead and move on to the next article of business. Just gotta share the tab. And this is another one from Bounded into Comics. And it's about Ron Pearlman, and he says that he's still willing to return for Hellboy 3 despite being 71 effing years old. And this was posted on Bounty into Comics on February 1st. It's by Michael Austin. And it starts off by saying actor Ron Pearlman recently made it clear that despite his old age, he would be willing to reprise his role as Mike Mignola's iconic Hellboy. It says the sons.
No, keep going, keep going. I'm just
All right, all
yeah.
right, all right. I was gonna give you the opportunity.
I want to hear. I want to see a little bit more of this before I make an actual statement. I want to see a
Okay.
little bit more.
All right, all right. I was gonna give you that opportunity.
I know you would. I know.
The Sons of Anarchy star previously portrayed the character in Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy and Hellboy 2: The Golden Army, both of which are still held as cult classic superhero movies. However, though Del Toro intended to helm one final entry to serve as the end cap to his planned trilogy, factors such as the Golden Army's box office underperformance, the director's busy schedule, and a lack of studio support ultimately led to the project's cancellation in 2017. Instead, a 2019 reboot of the franchise was greenlit in its place, with Del Toro replaced in role of director with Doomsday director Neil Marshall, starring David Harbour of Stranger Things fame. This reboot was universally panned by fans and critics alike, with both Perlman and Del Toro later admitting that they wanted little to do with the project. During a recent interview with The Independent, Pearl asserted, "Am I eager to do Hellboy 3? No, I'm 71 effing years old." Before assuring fans that despite his lack of excitement, he would still be up for donning the red makeup, prosthetics, and trench coat one last time. Why? Because, in his own words, "we owe this to the fans." Goes on to say we should give it to them because it would be an epic conclusion, Perlman said. So, Guillermo, if you're reading, I'm not done pounding you to get this effing thing done. Perlman and Del Toro have a long history of working together, going back decades. The director's directorial debut, Kronos. Most recently, the award winning Mexican director convinced Perlman to play a small role in his recently released Nightmare Alley. Now, okay, maybe I'm just looking at this in a different aspect, but that last sentence in that paragraph, could they just said the award winning director? No, instead they go the award winning Mexican director. I don't care where they're from, they're an award winning director.
Yeah. No, I agree. I you said pretty much what I would say.
And welcome back, Nerd Porel. He says, enjoying a Sunday breakfast listening to Mike's Pop Talk. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it. According to Perlman, their relationship began when Del Toro wrote him a personal letter asking him to appear in the film. It was a letter you don't get very often in life. The type of letter you save, and when you have the money, you frame it. Reading the letter, it was like I'd won the Lifetime Achievement Award. I was an obscure character actor behind these masks. Nobody recognized me, let alone knew my name,
Hey.
but he did. And let's see. Article continues. In December, Perlman told Inverse that though he had already made peace with the fact that the book on Hellboy 3 closed, considering how he had just appeared in a remake of a 1947 film he thought no one would ever produce, that anything was possible. I'm pretty sure that in 1947, nobody working on Nightmare Alley even thought there'd be a 2021 version. So never say never, right? He added, somebody may pick it up at some point and finish the trilogy. I hope they finish the trilogy. and I hope Guillermo's script is the one that they make to finish the trilogy. Whether he directs it or not, whether I'm Hellboy, doesn't matter. It's just that circle needs to be completed. All right. So, what do you think?
Um, I mean, I think he was a great Hellboy. The movies are great. I didn't see the remake. I honestly I didn't know I don't know anyone that saw it, so I don't know if it was good or not. Um, but it would be well, Trek right now, I am vaping right now. I'm not smoking right now. I'm limiting my cigars to more special occasions, or if I've had a night we're celebrating kind of, I'll have a cigar just because finances are a little bit tighter. So, and cigars, you have a cigar, but that'll cost you $10 one fell swoop. Where vaping, I can get out of even a smaller bottle, I can get 2 to 3 weeks out of for the cost of one and a half cigars. So, but I still have my cigars, Trek. I still have my cigars, just not as often as I would like. But down the road, down the road, I'll definitely get more. Um, um, but anyways, yeah, no, I think it would be. The problem is that with Ron Perlman being in his early 70s now, I don't know how well he could pull off a Hellboy at his age. I don't. I would love to, I'm not gonna lie, I'd love to see it just for one final hurrah, but at the same time, it's like you're 71. You ain't, I mean, because the last Hellboy came out, what, like 14 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was around, I want to say 2003, 2004, somewhere in that window.
Well, no, no, Hellboy 2: The Golden Army, I think I want to say came out because I think that was the first Hellboy. The second Hellboy I thought came out in like 07, 08, around that time. I could be wrong.
I'll look it
Um,
up. I'll look it up. I'll
yeah,
look it up.
but it's been it's been about 10 to 15 years, and as you get older, you can't do what you used to do in
Mm.
acting, you know? Um, I think it would be awesome to see. I just don't know if he could pull it off like he did in the other two Hellboy movies with such a large time gap of his age in between the second one and if they did do a third one. I feel like, honestly, if they did do another Hellboy movie, I would love to see him as Hellboy, but because remember, the second one ends with him and I can't remember the chick's name, but remember, she's pregnant with twins. So what if you did Hellboy 3 where it's his kids that are taking up his mantle and he's kind of more like the older sage who's training them up and everything, and you give him one or two good action scenes kind of, but it's
Mhm.
him kind of more mentoring his kids, and his kids are taking up the mantle that he held for so long. Um, just because I don't want him to. I mean, I think Ron Perlman's a tool bag in real life. I think he's a total just jerkwad. But when he does act in his roles, he does act really well. So I give him
Mhm.
credit on that side. Um, I don't know. I don't know. I got mixed feelings on it. I got mixed feelings on it right now.
And to answer your question, you are correct because Hellboy 2 came out in 2008.
Hey, okay, yeah. So it's been 14 years. So he was 57. Even at 57, he pulled it off pretty good. But 14 years later, if you ain't been doing loads of like action movies and you're keeping your body in as peak shape as it possibly can be, yeah, I don't know if he can do it. But again, mixed feelings on it. Mixed feelings.
Well, it goes back to Picard and Patrick Stewart. When I first heard about it, I was thinking, why? Why, after all this time, does he all of a sudden want to come back? A part of me wanted to be excited, but I'm thinking he's much older than he was, and
Mm-hmm.
what we've seen from one is we're not getting the same Picard.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Yeah,
not
we're
getting that
not.
Picard that has that gravitas when he speaks, when he makes those epic speeches. Not that he made any in Picard, in my opinion, but that's besides the point.
That's a good point.
But I know as we get older, we can't move as well as we used to, and our voice just change as we get older. But to hear him go from such commanding performance, and even hearing him at the convention, hearing his voice saying, "All right, sounds good," and then hearing him Picard, it's like, okay, I realize the character's in his 90s, but must we always hear him talk like this? Wouldn't someone like Picard be parading around, making speeches everywhere across the Alpha and Beta quadrants? I could be
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, even if you go back to Nemesis, when he didn't have any grand epic speeches, but he did have some great moments of gravitas where um when they're all like when they're like warping back to Federation space and they find out that Shinzon basically needs Picard's blood, like a complete literal just transfusion directly from Picard to keep surviving and living. When he just is there's that gravitas when he just stands up and he basically says like, we're gonna stop him and we're gonna rendezvous with our fleet, and basically he puts on that air of, we know what we all have to do. He can't fire that weapon. Because remember, he says he must not be allowed to fire that weapon. All other concerns are
Mm-hmm.
secondary. And then he glances, he looks at everyone almost individually and says, "You understand, right?" And then everyone just kind of looks around at each other, nods, and then you just see Riker say, "Yes, sir." And then Picard and that's when he hits the button. He's like, "All hands, battle stations." And it was like,
Yeah.
again, it wasn't like an epic speech, but there was a weight, like you could feel it in that moment, the seriousness of the fight that was about to come.
And the Padawannabe says, I can only see calling him a Mexican director if he won awards in that market and not in other ethnic markets. Otherwise, it's weird. Yes, it is weird.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if he was a well-known just Mexican director who only did Mexican movies and this was be his big first attempt at an American Hollywood movie, well then yeah, you could easily say this well-known Mexican director who's directed films such as whatever and whatever. This is his first big attempt at an American Hollywood hero movie, kind of something like that. Totally get throwing in the Mexican in there, but I don't care. I don't care. Again, I don't care what ethnicity you are. Don't virtue signal to me. Okay? I have zero patience for that. Virtue signaling is dead to me. You virtue signal, I ignore everything else you say.
That's a good point right there. Very good point. So I did have an article, but the site refreshed because it's just afternoon here on the East Coast. So let me try to find that article again. But I was just going to talk about the box office and how Jackass actually made some money at the weekend box office. Let me just
Yeah,
find it
beat out
again.
Moonfall.
All right. 1 second. Give me a second, folks. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't.
Mm-hmm. Share the link around because we're not to the best part yet. We're not to the best
Oh,
part.
no. We got to let things simmer a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's like a good stew. When you get a good stew, you don't want to eat it when it's first ready. No. You want to let those flavors kind of all just sit there and cook up more and let it thicken up where it's nice and hearty. That's what we're doing here. We're just letting it simmer for a little bit.
And I am actually going to play the trailer, but I am also going to be pausing it to avoid any issues, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to show this screen from Box Office Mojo. And there we go. I have the right tab selected, and I'm going to share it on screen. All right, so the latest weekend numbers. Well, of course, this is from the past week, but the latest dailies as of Friday, Jackass was number one. But I had seen an article that was saying Jackass was able to make 23 million this weekend to take the number one spot. So you have a movie that's going in there, Johnny Knoxville, and the Jackass crew. Hey, real quick, look who's here. Uh TKO, DDOD. I did DM you an invite link if you'd like to come on.
He lives.
But I'm afraid to tell you, you're no All Might. And the Padawannabe says, I would live for Hellboy 3, but this could be a stretch. The remake did look better, but it did not connect the way the first two did. No, and that's always a problem for remake. It's not always gonna, get the same feels that you had for the previous incarnation. I mean, heck, we could say that as Star Wars fans and Star Trek fans. You're not quite getting the same taste of that wine. It may be the same brand, but the taste of it is off.
Yep. Yeah, for nerds, we've been having a bit of an off season.
Yep.
Content.
And brace yourself, Patriot. I hope you're holding on to something. Because the chaotic one is here.
Uh-oh,
Yes.
hang on a second. I got a pool near me. Where's a lead weight?
God, it's not that bad, man.
USS Utopia has entered the battle.
USS Utopia. So is Charlie Sheen its commanding officer?
No, that would be the USS
Good one.
Tiger's Blood. He's in command of that.
Oh, that
Good
brings me
morning
back
to you.
Group... Go ahead, sorry.
Good morning to you,
Hail,
TKO.
Good morning, and also hail Spark Friday nights.
Yes. We also have Captain Trek here. We also have the Padawannabe, and also the lovely Sherry stopped by along with Amen Fate. So
Hello,
we've had
everybody.
we've had some good people stop by this early morning going into the afternoon.
Yep. I mean, let's
Yeah,
just be real. Would you rather be watching the Winter Olympics, or would you rather be here, getting the very best in entertainment?
Winter
I'm just
Olympics.
saying.
Oh,
well,
I thought that was canceled.
if it were up to me, I'd rather be here. That's my All Might impression. Take it or leave it.
Hey, all I got to say is United Federation of Smash.
United Federation of Smash. So
Listen, we don't need to know. We don't need to know what your
Mm.
nightclub would be called. Okay, we don't need to know that.
No. All I was gonna say is, so what are we going to see? She-Hulk's running around and Incredible Hulk's running around wearing Starfleet uniforms, and a Klingon challenges them to battle, and well, the Klingon loses.
Yeah, that would not go well for them.
And then to get certain drinks, you have to say certain Klingon. You have to say certain phrases like, "Okay, I want some Klingon blood wine. What's the passcode? For the glory of the Empire, you get our finest bottle."
Yes, indeed. Dang it,
All right,
coming. Hurt.
So I do have an updated article here with the box office. Yeah, Jackass Forever gets last laugh with $23.5 million opening.
I'm not surprised.
Not bad for a few jackasses.
Right.
Well, and I guess you can call it a franchise. Well, I don't even call it a franchise per se, but a series of movies that haven't been released in theaters in since the mid 2000s.
Yeah.
No, it's a franchise TV show with merch onto being a movies and merchandise and yeah.
But the article says the R-rated slapstick comedy easily outgrossed Roland Emmerich's big-budget Moonfall, which crashed to Earth in its box office launch. I never even heard of Moonfall.
I did. I read a Geeks and Gamers review on it. Basically, they summarized it like this: like if you like movies like Armageddon and stuff like that, where it's like a kind of like a big sci-fi world-ending event kind of movie that pretty much dismisses all known science, and you just want a movie that just turn your brain off and watch like a bunch of special effects and action, it's great for you. But if you're like a critical thinker in any way, like you have to be that way in a movie, you might have an aneurysm.
And Captain Trek says, and I'm going to do this in my best Galron voice, glow at your house.
There was somebody posted on a Star Trek page on Facebook, and it said, and it was just a meme that says, type the last thing you ate, and then at the end of it, after that, add, for the glory of the Klingon Empire.
Hello, Captain Trek.
So I put, I ate steak for the glory of the Klingon Empire.
Captain Trek, and glory to your house as well.
And the Padawannabe says it best: Jackass, man, society just likes to watch stupid.
You're so stupid.
I have no idea why the Vulcans wanted to save these pathetic humans from our people back in the day. So let the Empire crush them.
Well, if they didn't save, humanity per se, help humanity out in any way, shape, or form, humanity would have been, emotional. Had some emotional damage. They would have been sent to Jesus.
Right.
I know I screwed that up, but
so is the
but
so the Klingon version of that is, I will send you to Stovako.
No.
Oh no, it's I will send you to Gretor.
No, I will send them to Kalis.
You're right. You are definitely right.
Oh Lord, I'm sorry.
But it's true. The Federation Klingon Alliance, before the Romulans joined, they did suffer emotional damage. All right,
they suffered all kinds of damage.
I wish I'd never found that video, because that's
Right,
thing I keep
it's stuck
thinking
in your
about.
head.
I actually saved it, and I'm gonna cut several tiny clips from my channel. They're gonna be like the little like thing like the couple second clips that you play in like a live stream.
I know.
All right, so this article that was written by Pamela McClintock, and it was posted just today, says there was nothing gross about the opening of Jackass Forever at the box office. The R-rated movie took in a better than expected $23.5 million from 3,604 theaters to mark a triumphant return to the big screen for prankster king Johnny Knoxville and his crew. Jackass Forever costing a mere $10 million. Gosh, that's cheap for nowadays. That
Not
is
really,
cheap.
depending on what kind of movie it is.
That's true.
But
yeah.
Like, look at what kind of movie it is. There's no like special effects. Really, there's just a bunch of, crazy people setting up practical jokes on each other. I'm surprised it cost that much.
It was probably the insurance on all of the guys was that high. That's probably where
Right.
went.
That checks out.
What, you're making a Jackass movie? Yeah, sorry, our rates have really shot up to insure all these guys. It's going to cost about $9.5 million. Okay, I think we can work with about $500,000 million for the rest of the movie.
Yep.
That checks out more.
Well, it's like I was on a panel with Paul from the Star Wars guys last Sunday. And one of the questions he had was, why was Johnny Knoxville participating in the Royal Rumble? Well, come to find out, Jackass Forever was coming out, so that's why he was in the Royal Rumble as a celebrity entrant.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, yep. Jackass Forever, costing a mere $10 million to make, is the second box office win and profit generator for Paramount following January's screen. Paramount Pictures, MTV Entertainment, and Dick Productions decided to revive Knoxville's slapstick gross-out comedy franchise after a 12-year hiatus from the big screen. Jackass Forever is proportionally the last film in the franchise. Yeah, right. You kidding? The money comes calling. They'll all sign up and
they'll all
do
sign
another
up
one
again. I mean, I think these guys just love doing it. I mean, it's like, seriously, it's like you're playing practical jokes and inflicting self-harm on yourself, and you're getting paid a decent amount of money to do it, and you find it funny. Yeah, no.
Johnny Knoxville will be an old man in a wheelchair, and he'll say,
right.
I'm
Push
Johnny
me down
Knoxville.
the hill. Push me down the hill.
Welcome to Jackass. I'm going to go down the hill in a wheelchair.
Wait. Pacific. What makes you think he'll live long enough to become an old man?
Trust me, with all the stuff he's been through, I'm surprised he's lived this long.
Okay, he is not Chinese or a martial artist, okay?
No, but have you seen some of the stunts that they do on Jackass?
Oh, got it. Say again?
Oh, whatever.
I got it.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, so it says critic. Oh, wait a minute. I don't like this line right here. Critics love Jackass Forever, as did younger moviegoers, especially younger males. 3/4 of all ticket buyers were under the age of 35, including 67% ages 18 to 34, while 68% of the audience were male. The movie currently spots an 85% fresh rating on Rotten Tomatoes. A few days ago, it was 90%. Top markets that over-index included Los Angeles, where 9 of the top 10 theaters were Phoenix, Sacramento, Denver, San Diego, Las Vegas, Portland, Oregon, Fresno, Albuquerque, El Paso, Pittsburgh, and Milwaukee. Top markets that under-indexed included New York, Dallas. Both were storm related. Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Orlando, and Miami. Heading into the weekend, the film had been tracking to open in the mid teens. Like many other franchise installments, Jackass Forever still couldn't match the opening of the last film in the franchise, Jackass 3D, due to the ongoing pandemic. Jackass 3D debuted at 50 million. See, okay, all right. I'm going to say something here. You guys can agree or disagree, and you all in the chat can agree or disagree, but they keep using the pandemic as the excuse, yet Spider-Man No Way Home keeps proving them wrong.
Oh yeah, no, Spider-Man No Way Home has proved them wrong. It's not a it's like no, it's over. It's done. Okay. Just like India, and Florida and whatever proved them wrong about the pandemic too. It's like it's over. Look with your own eyeball peepers. I don't know what you guys are doing, but it ain't working.
Well, that's the thing. People, especially with all the everything so politically charged regarding the the pandemic or post-pandemic stuff out there and whatnot, and with the whole Ukraine thing, people don't want movies that that kind of criticize them or whatnot. They want a movie where you can literally just sit back and spend hour and a half, 2.5, 3 hours, and just shut your brain off and have fun. Whatever your definition of fun is, whether that's watching a horror slasher or watching the three Spider-Men take on villains from all over the Spidey universe, to watching Jackass. Something that turns your brain off and you can just enjoy. Let time
Well, not
pass
necessarily
you by.
turn your brain off. It's more like allow you to escape the fucked up reality you're stuck in. Because my brain doesn't turn off when I watch me some good Trek or some good Orville. My brain is engaged and I'm thinking, oh, good, But I'm not here dealing with inflation, dealing with mandates,
Well, no, that's what I meant. Like, you're turning your brain off from reality and all the things that reality is constantly throwing at you. You can just turn that side of your brain off where you don't think about that stuff and you can just enjoy, and not be like, I wonder if Russia's going to invade Ukraine, or I wonder if there's going to be another mandate or this or that. You can just turn that side of your brain off and just be like, I'm going to watch me some Spider-Man. So
that's what Godzilla versus Kong was for me.
Oh yeah,
brain.
Yep.
Don't ask questions, just derp. Big things fight, yay!
And then when the humans came on screen, it's like, get off the screen. I want to
go
see the
away, human. Go away, human.
Yeah. Well, I actually just watched the anime on Netflix, Pacific Rim Blackout, and it was like that way for me. I'm watching a great anime where a Jaeger is trying to survive in the Australian wastelands against kaiju and other humans.
Yeah, I remember that. That was kind of good, actually.
That was really good. A little bit confusing timeline wise in terms of where in the movies, like it's very confusing from that aspect as somebody who loves the two movies. And I know the second one was not as good, but I still just love the Pacific Rim franchise as a whole.
Nothing wrong with that. All right. So let's get back to the box office for Jackass. It says Jackass Forever, which reunites many original crew members, stars Johnny Knoxville, Steve-O, Chris Pontius, I don't know, Dave England, Wee Man, Danger Aaron, Preston Lacey, Sean Poopies McInnery, Zach Holmes, Eric Manka, and Rachel Wolfson. There are also numerous cameos. The Motion Picture Association Rating Board slapped Jackass Forever with an R for strong, crude material and dangerous stunts, graphic nudity, and language throughout. Jackass Forever easily beat Ronald Emmerich's sci-fi disaster pick, Moonfall, which crashed to Earth in its opening. Backed by excuse me, Centropolis. The movie opened to an estimated 10 million in North America from 3,446 theaters after costing at least 138 million. Ooh,
Damn.
that hurts. That
Yeah.
hurts. Ooh. To make, that's according to Emmerich. Lionsgate is distributing the film domestically and will make a profit off its fees, even if the movie loses money overall, according to company insiders. Okay, so they're still going to make money. They're not going to be hurting. What do they care? Is what they're saying.
Yeah, they're gonna make. I mean, if anything, they'll probably break even. I don't know if they'll actually truly make money, like bring a profit, but they'll probably break even.
And the Padawannabe brings up a good point about Jackass. It says this just shows that people want to laugh. Yeah, they do want to laugh. And then he says, 10 million? What? Where does that money go? Shopping carts to crash and generators to shock body parts? Probably.
Hey man, inflation, man. You gotta account for
Yep.
inflation when you're getting all that stuff.
Moonfall stars Halle Berry, Patrick Wilson, John Bradley, Michael Pena, Charlie Plummer, Kelly Wu, and Donald Sutherland. So you got a good group of actors there, but it just goes to show you don't need to have the big headline actors in order to get people to go to a movie. If people hear about a movie and see its premise and go, nope, been there, done that, they're not going to go there and see that.
Yeah. Plus, remember, with gas prices going up, food shortages in parts of the country, and prices of everything going up, the whole Ukraine Russia thing. Watching a sci-fi disaster flick, it's not you're that, like I said, that part of your brain that wants to shut off like reality and just watch a movie, it's still going to be active because you're watching a disaster movie. So that part of your brain is still going to be thinking about all these problems and reality that you're concerned about and thinking about. You don't get a chance to just shut it off, really.
And the Padawannabe says alcohol does make the body very bendable, though.
This is true.
I mean, I cannot argue with that logic.
And the article says the film played notably older, with more than 50% of ticket buyers 35 and up. Hey, TKO, we made the cut for the old guys.
Wow.
I'm not even gonna comment on that.
Oh, come on.
It's not wrong there, buddy. Back in our day, there was these wires that to connect to your controller for the entire time you were playing. You had to get up to turn the knob on the teletuber.
Hey, I'm in my 40s now. If I can poke fun at myself, why not?
Do it. I mean, I always joke around. I'm in my coming up. Actually, this year I'll probably enter me into my mid-30s, and I'm like, I'm an old man. I need to get my cane and get myself a one of them stickers with the wheelchair on it from the DMV.
Hey, we should all get matching camouflage sweaters when we kill zombies.
Listen. Just because you like hot pink doesn't mean I'm gonna go along with that.
Clean out your ears! I said camouflage.
They make hot
That's
pink
not
camouflage.
what I heard. That's not what I heard.
Both you ought to clean out your damn ears. Manscaped.
All right, let's get back on track here. It says, all right, and it also skewed male 60% moviegoers. Set Moonfall back to the class of a C+ cinema score. Spider-Man No Way Home continued its remarkable run, coming in third with 9.6 million to finish Sunday with a domestic total of 748.9 million, which is just shy of the 749.8 million grossed by Avatar in its original run. No Way Home has now has a real shot at passing up the 760 million, ultimately grossed by Avatar domestically to become the number 3 top grossing movie of all time, not adjusted for inflation. It goes on to say Spider-Man No Way Home's global haul is 1.77 billion.
Yep. It's their most profitable movie. It's Sony's most profitable movie ever.
Yep. Well, I mean, there's a couple reasons why. You have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as their respective Spider-Man.
Yep. And did you hear what Tom Holland said about Andrew Garfield? He wants Andrew Garfield in the next in his next Spider-Man movie as Spider-Man. I saw that would be cool. Like yesterday.
That would be cool.
Although I don't know how you're going to do that, but yeah, that would be cool.
Well, they can come up with a way. Now, whether it be good, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, the beautiful thing is that after No Way Home, they've kind of almost hit the reset button to a degree. Because since nobody knows who that Peter is Spider-Man, that means all the Avengers, Doctor Strange, everybody.
I gotta plug my ears. I failed. I haven't seen it yet. Proceed.
Why do we talk to him, Mike? Well, I mean, seriously, why are we talking with him right now?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why I invited him on. I really don't. You are a failure.
I know I brought dishonor to the house of Mortog.
Now
you brought grave dishonor to the Empire.
I will rectify the situation and restore honor and glory.
All right.
First, so you must play. You must play War Thunder with a rank 1 tank, and you must get 100 kills within 10 matches to regain your honor.
Oh God, you're really giving him a hard task,
man. Like, damn.
This is what Pop Talk's about. Just having fun, reading the articles, but ultimately having fun. It may not be for everybody, but this is what it's about, having fun.
Hold on, comment. You do know that upon completing that task, I will hunt you down clear across the galaxy, duct tape you to a chair, and force you to binge watch every single episode of the Ellen DeGeneres show, right?
Oh God, dude. I don't want that.
Will have my revenge.
See, the only difference is that I don't want to watch the Ellen DeGeneres show, but I know you like playing War Thunder. There's a difference there, at least.
Yeah, but that difference means nothing. I'll even glue your eyes open and put a mister in front of you so you can't blink, and you must watch every agonizing second of that series. And then we'll move on to Lily Singh.
Oh, whoa. So I tell him he's got to get 100 kills in War Thunder using only the beginner tank. And he's saying I got to watch everything Lily Singh and everything Ellen DeGeneres. I'm starting to wonder whether you truly want the honor back with your house.
He's getting the better end of the deal as far as I'm concerned from where I stand.
He's getting it far. I mean, that's, he could easily do that. I mean, is he trying to kill me here? Is he trying to kill me?
No, just trying to make you wish you were dead. 100 kills in a tier 1. Oh God. Oh, God.
All right. So the Padawannabe says, I understand your point of Spider-Man, but if many people weren't still a little scared to go out, that movie probably would have done double what it did. Yeah.
I agree there.
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
how many people though truly are let's see, how do I rephrase that? Too scared to go out that would have gone to the theater and purchased the ticket anyway. I think by now a lot of people are
I don't have
over
that
it.
number.
See what I'm saying? That's what
I think it also comes down to also your largest markets, you know, the big cities usually. They're much more harder when it comes to anything pandemic related. So that could stifle the how much it could have made in those markets. Like New York, Chicago, LA, San Francisco, places like that. I'm not saying it's the reason. I'm just saying that's a theory.
hasn't it surpassed in-game numbers?
That's a good question. I do not know.
I don't know.
I think it has. I'm not quite sure. Because
it might have.
Its success could also be based on the pandemic, where people are all like, "Hey, fuck it, I'm gonna go see it anyway." So it's like,
let me see.
Who knows? It could have a negative or positive effect.
Okay, if you find it, Patriot,
Avengers
go ahead and post it in the private chat, and then I'll put it on the screen.
No, I'm just looking it up on IMDb right now on my phone.
Okay. Anyways, the article goes on to say Scream placed number 4 with 4.7 million domestically for a total of 68.9 million, while Sing 2 rounded out the top 5 with 4.2 million. Sing 2 finished Sunday with a domestic haul of 139.6 million and 291.5 million globally. So again, people who want to go see a movie like Sing 2, which is a kids film, are going to see it.
Yeah. All right, I got the numbers right here. So it grossed in the U.S. A little over 858 million. Worldwide gross was just under 2.8 billion.
Holy crap!
Yeah, it's never going to touch. Yeah, it's never going to touch Endgame. And by the way, that was on a budget, an estimated budget of 356 million.
It almost broke $1 billion in America by itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it got. It got pretty good at it. It did really well just here in the U.S. alone, and that's pre-pandemic too, by the way, because that came out in 2019. Yeah,
and the article goes on to say new nationwide offering The Wolf and the Lion faltered in its opening with less than 700,000 from an estimated 1,000 theaters. At the specialty box office, acclaimed Norwegian film The Worst Person in the World impressed with an opening location average of 33,760 from 4 theaters in New York and Los Angeles for distributor Neon. Among holdovers, Paul Thomas Anderson's Licorice Pizza, not Licorice, sorry. Well, I could have called it Licorice, but no,
Wow.
It's Licorice. I'm just trying to be funny there, dude. Grew its domestic tally to 12.7 million on the eve of Oscar nominations, which will be announced February 8th. Oh man, I cannot wait. Oscar nominations, guys.
What do I care about hot dogs nominations? I don't care. I stopped eating their brand a while ago.
Nathan's for me. It's Nathan's or nothing.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Nathan's are real good.
Yep.
Oscars. Oh my god.
And TK, you're not alone. The Padawannabe still needs to go see Spider-Man No Way Home as well.
Brother, we will restore our house's honor together.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah. The reason why I saw it is because I had a free movie ticket that I found in my wallet.
You found it. I go, oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I'm going through my wallet. I'm like, what's this little thing? What's this little piece of paper? Is it a receipt? I look at it, free movie ticket. I'm like, hello, I know what I'm gonna go see.
Interesting. Oh yeah, Hebrew National's a very close second, Captain Trek.
Yeah,
A very close second.
Yeah, Hebrew National's a really good one. Ballpark used to be really good back in the day, but I feel like the quality's kind of gone down for them. So.
Yeah, like it doesn't have that meaty seasoning goodness that it used to have.
Yeah, Hebrew National, I would say, is a good second choice if Nathan's is not available.
I'm gonna have to go get me some Nathan's now. Look what you've done.
You know what? I'm thinking. You know what? I want some like chicken wraps for dinner, like some fried chicken wrap for dinner. I'm like, now, I want hot dogs for dinner.
Oh yes, because I was about to be like, after Pop Talk Pacific, dust out your favorite explosives because we're going in. Ooh, hot dogs.
88 is strong with this one.
Stomach is strong. Urge to kill zombies also strong.
I can see it now, folks. I can see it now. All right, there's a zombie apocalypse. Everybody, man your stations. Hey, who's cooking hot dogs?
Sir, where are you going? Hot dogs in this direction. You know, oh god, now all right, now I know what my character's gonna be searching for today. Sir, our base doesn't have any electric power or water. Our garden is dying and our medical supplies are low. I see. This does sound like a very, very problem. Big problem. Yes, big problem. Sir, what's on your mind? Well, I'm thinking the best thing we can do for our community is to find the hot dogs.
Anybody know where the nearest hot dog stand is?
Where's the nearest renal schnitzel? I'll even settle for that garbage at this point.
Hey, you know what? I wouldn't turn down a good kielbasa.
I mean, fair point.
All right. I'm going to put it to a vote. Should I read one more article or should I get to the reason why we're all here?
I say, what's the article on, though?
Depends.
Orville talk?
Depends. Wow, that's... I mean, because here's the thing. We're going to be on Orville for a while. So...
Right, true.
Because that sneak peek, me like you a lot.
Me like you long time.
I do have another article that since Captain Trek is here, since the three of us are here, well, yeah. You guys are probably gonna want to kick the living crap out of me, but
which TKO. Just remember when he says kick the living crap out of him, he means leave him to die instead of decay 2.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Here we go. It wouldn't be a Pop Talk without some Star Trek news.
All right, where's the blade? I need a blade. I need to start sharpening my blades.
Oh, God! Why have you poisoned my eyes?
Now Pacific needs to go redeem himself for the glory of the Empire.
Get that off the screen!
You're kidding? I'm the captain of the ship.
The crew just declared mutiny.
Yes, mutiny.
And there was
no crew.
There was
no crew.
Voice. We were unanimous.
Where's my duck dog?
No crew in the history of the Starfleet has ever declared mutiny.
Mm-hmm.
And then Discovery comes along and changes that whole narrative.
Wait. When was it the Equinox? Wouldn't that count?
they were away from Federation space, and the crew pretty much agreed with their captain. Yeah, we're going to use this species to harness their energy to get back to the Alpha Quadrant.
And wouldn't Admiral what's his face during Deep Space Nine, trying to take over the whole thing, kind of count too?
Equinox is a good argument for a mutiny. The Admiral, I don't.
That was whole ass. That was a whole ass fucking literal insurrection.
Well, that is true.
That
Although
was
it
a
did give
real
us
one.
a great Defiant battle, though. How short it was.
Yeah, that's facts.
Captain Trek does bring up the Pegasus crew as the crew that did decide to go against their captain. Remember, Pegasus, the experimental cloaking device.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
the ship
true.
was thought to be destroyed, but it was found years later.
That was definitely a whole ass mutiny.
Yep, and you could even say
Admiral Layton.
That's his Enterprise name. When they did the Mirror Universe 2-parter, there was mutiny in that one too.
Yeah.
Yep, biggest one in history, Admiral Layton. That he tried to take over the whole freaking Federation.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and
give me that.
Captain Trek, in regards to the article I'm about to read, is saying, "What the bloody F is that? Shiznit."
Hold on a second. All hands listening / watching. Grab your helmets and put them on. Then you're gonna have to dust it out.
All right. Paramount reportedly working on new Star Trek Starfleet Academy series, Section 31. Sorry. I'll contain myself as best I can. Section 31, still in development. Yeah, right. Yeah, well, the Cubs will win another World Series before that happens.
Yep, and the Browns might actually go to the Super Bowl.
You know what? I'm going to shoot this over to... Oh, I have an interesting article too then, because apparently based off of what you said, I've done some research, and I'm going to go ahead and send you the link to this article regarding apparently what they're...
Put it in the private chat.
Oh, yes, I am. I sent it to your Discord, so you can go ahead and pop that on screen. Oh, we have found footage. I found footage of what's going on in Paramount's what's it called? Offices, higher ups office.
All right, I
found camera footage, guys. Actually found camera footage. Holy crap!
I will take a look at it after we read this article.
Go right ahead.
It says, apparently not content with the damage already done to the franchise by Alex Kurtzman in his pursuit of turning it into something it had never been before, CBS has supposedly opted to provide him even more fuel to burn, announcing that not only have they greenlit another Star Trek series under his studio's direction, but that the still absent Section 31 spin-off series is still in active development. Oh.
Yeah. You can keep. Yeah, that's like saying. I can't even come with a good analogy because the actress gave up on the project because they took too long to even get her even a script, even a rough draft of a script. Yeah, it took them so long to get her even a rough draft of a script at least, that she's like, I can't keep. I got other projects I'm wanted on. I can't keep waiting.
Nope. And it says, reporting on alleged word from their sources, Deadline revealed in a February 1st exclusive that CBS's new Star Trek Starfleet Academy will, well, like the 1990s PC game with which it shares a name, reportedly be set among the College of Cadets mentored for leadership roles in the United Federation of Planets Space Force. United Federation of Planets Space Force. I never heard the United Federation of
Because it
Planets
doesn't
referred to as
because
the
it
Space
doesn't
Force.
exist.
I've heard of
Exactly.
Starfleet.
But you don't just describe
It-
Starfleet as a space force.
No, and the Federation, it was a coalition of planets. That's how it began.
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Don't we actually have a real life space force? What are they doing?
I don't know anymore.
Oh,
We're going on the assumption these people are actually competent.
they're actually what?
Thanks for the laugh.
What did he say? We're going off the
I said
opinion what?
I said we're going on the assumption that these people are actually competent when they write these things.
Who what who would assume who would think of them and their first thought would be an assumption of competence? You're funny. You are real. You set up funny. This just in, like I said, we got footage. Try to contain yourselves. We have footage of what is going on in Paramount's executive offices. Huh. We'll wait for Pacific to authenticate, fact check.
Hold on 1 second.
the
Is
footage.
it that scene from SpongeBob SquarePants where he deletes everything from his brain except fine dining and great customer service? And then when someone asks him his name, it's like pandemonium and chaos, and everyone's like running for their lives. Okay. All right.
I too sent you via super secret private chat in your Discord the footage that was smuggled out of Paramount headquarters today while they were discussing this very thing.
Okay, I will get to it after I finish this article.
I was waiting for comedy. Click on it. Live footage. This is live footage.
I just got your thing. Keep going.
It says, according to the entertainment trade news outlet, Absentina co-creator Gia Violo is currently working on a project. Oh god! Oh god! This better be good. This better be good.
I'm hacked into their freaking cameras right now, watching the CEO and CFO having a conversation right now.
Okay, well, I'll get to it. Deadline also noted that Starfleet Academy will be the next Star Trek project to enter production following Section 31, which their sources added was expected to get a pickup soon. I thought it was already picked up. I thought they'd announced when they greenlit it that it was already picked up. That's what they were bragging on about. Section 31, which has been in varying levels of development hell since it was first announced in 2019, was further confirmed to be in the works by Paramount Plus president of original scripted series, Nicole Clements, during a Television Critics Association executive session held on January 27th. We are still in development on Section 31, so there will be more news on that soon. Okay, what? 5 years from now? As of writing, little is currently known about Section 31 because it's not happening, in my opinion. Outside of the fact that it will center on the Mirror Universe version of Michelle Yeoh's Philippa Georgiou herself, an agent of the eponymous Black Ops organization. Oh, God. And they completely miss the whole point of Section 31.
Yep.
Section 31 does not go around the Alpha and Beta quadrants in their own freaking ship.
Nope.
Now, they do have some of their own ships, but they're not. But remember, this is like Section 31 is like, think of them kind of like you would like the CIA or the KGB. They got stuff that that no other part of the government would have. They're the intel. They're the people that if Section 31 shows up, something's going down because they never show up, kind of thing.
all their technology too would also pretty much be like would be small because it can't really stand out. So their ships, everything would be small, really small, easy to hide, easy to conceal, just like in real life. You're like, because
Yeah.
I don't. When's the last time anyone saw an Abrams tank pull out of the CIA headquarters?
Exactly. I mean, I remember there was that scene in DS9 when Section 31 shows up. They're like, "Wait, we have the shields up. How did you beam through the shields?"
Right. Oh, and Padawannabe, I hate you for that direct hit on my stomach with your chili cheese, all beef hot dogs on a pretzel bun. Nom nom nonsense. Ah. I almost hit directly in the feels.
You know
It was
what?
super
You know what?
effective.
This is just solidifying my hot dog dinner decision right now. This is just
that is
solidifying.
happening. Okay, that is happening. But me, I'm gonna go get me the all beef hot dogs, diced onions, throw a little bit of mayo, melt some cheese on top of that with a little bit of chili. Oh my, yeah.
Hey, don't forget the bacon bits.
Oh yeah, you're right. If you're gonna go for a full-on heart attack dog, go full-on heart attack dog.
I mean, if you're doing it, do it, man. If your last meal is a hot dog like that, you got to go in style. You got to go in style.
Right. Oh, we gotta let Pacific get through. Oh yes. Oh shit, Pacific. Yeah, we must let Pacific get through this article. I don't know how long I can hold this link. I think they're trying to counter hack me.
All right. Let me get through it. It continues by saying Kurtzman himself. Okay, so anytime Kurtzman speaks, don't listen. In my opinion,
Kurtzman can speak.
Himself,
I didn't even know that.
Well, he doesn't necessarily speak. He just spouts off what he's been programmed to spout off.
My bad. I think my brain has automatically programmed to hit the mute button whenever he pops up on screen. So that's a me thing. I'm sorry, guys. Continue.
Anyways, Kurtzman himself touched.
Do something quick.
Okay.
Got it. Touched upon the spin-off's development and possibly Starfleet Academies during a Star Trek Strange New Worlds panel hosted by the TCA later that same day, teasing that his team was not only working on Section 31, but also another series, which he wished to keep tight-lipped about for the time being. We have to think several years out, he explained. We're thinking about knowing, want new shows on the air 2 or 3 years from now, so we have to start planning those now. There's a bunch of things in development now that are starting to take shape, and we're super excited about it, he concluded. Oh, God. They've run Star Trek into the ground. Star Trek is dead.
What do you mean into the ground? They hit the core. Okay, I'm surprised the planet is still, in one piece. It went straight through the ground like the ground was made out of tissue paper.
The newest Star Trek series, Strange New Worlds, is set to premiere on May 5th. And, oh God, Nerdporial, if you're still listening, brother, why? Why do you want to put yourself through that agony, brother?
Yeah, indeed.
Oh God.
His helmet must be made out of that real good stuff.
Nerdporial doesn't wear a helmet, at least not that I know of. Unless he's having one made specifically for watching anything related to Alex Kurtzman.
Then how in the hell is he keeping his head from exploding?
You don't know. You'll have to ask Nerd.
Roger that.
So, yeah, what do I think of the potential Starfleet Academy series? Well, Harv Bennett had pitched that idea years ago, and Paramount rejected it. And if this thing does actually happen, which I don't think it will, in my opinion, it's just going to pollute the Star Trek franchise even more. We have too much going on as it is, and what we have going on isn't Star Trek. In my opinion, it is not Star Trek. It never will be Star Trek.
Yeah, it's dead, Jim.
Buck, is that the logical conclusion? Or is that the human thing to do?
It's the only thing to do, Captain.
All right, so I hope my brain doesn't explode. All right, because I am copying the link that a
Yes,
certain
Captain.
somebody's sent me, and I hope our
Captain
brains
Pacific.
don't explode.
Captain Pacific 414. This just in. I'd have managed to continue on link with the Paramount headquarters in Cardassia Prime. It appears the link is slowly weakening, but I do have a direct line of sight with the heads of Paramount
Well,
discussing what they're doing.
everyone's seeing it right now. They're just burning the money.
The connection is unstable. All right. There we go. The Paramount CEO and CFO hard at work planning the future of Star Trek.
Yeah, they're burning away money.
I thought you'd get a kick out of that.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're allergic to money. I don't know when Hollywood became allergic to money. And if they are, I was going to say GoFundMe, but no, GoFundMe is asshole. I have a Patreon or something they could donate. You know, I could make something good. I mean, I like money.
Yeah. Oh, there was. I don't think I covered it the other day on Pop Talk. And if this is a repeat story, I do apologize. But here we go. I don't think I covered this the other.
Wow.
J.J. Abrams reportedly wanted to destroy iconic Star Wars planet in The Force Awakens, but Disney stopped him.
Oh yeah, I heard about that from I think you from Doomcock even as well. You wanted to uninstall the Capitol. Holy crap! Yeah, I remember this. I think I've watched you guys talking about it too. Yeah, this one's True fans already know about this, and he laughed.
Huh. This is interesting. Pat Wannabe is saying you all hear about the brain chip they are making to allow disabled individuals to be able to walk with just their thought.
That's scary. They might also use it to control their thoughts.
Yeah, well, I can also hear another line. We are the Borg. Your biological and technological distinctiveness will be added to our own. Your culture will adapt to service us. Resistance is futile.
Oh my god, I could say something right now because that just reminds me of a certain group of individuals. Your culture will adapt to service ours. That part in particular. Wow.
No, Pat, I want to be. It's quite all right, brother. It's quite all right. But anyways, this article was posted on February 1st. And it's written by Michael Austin. And it says, recently, deleted tweets from a Lucasfilm insider revealed J.J. Abrams initially wanted to destroy a fan favorite planet in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Apparently, Abrams had planned to destroy the popular prequel trilogy planet Coruscant, but executives at Lucasfilm said no.
Right.
But I want to destroy it. I want to put a mystery box there and destroy it.
I think that is the one good Star Wars decision, or maybe the first, because I'm hearing mixed things about Book of Boba Fett, which...
Yep.
Huh. Oh!
Well, I have my thoughts. I've expressed them here on the channel, and if you want to watch those videos, they're readily available for everybody to watch.
If you want to rewatch them like we did or have our anime watch things, I'm down for that.
All right.
I want to see what all the hype's about.
So I will let you know on that. I will probably do a live review on this last episode coming up. I'll probably do it like I did this past Thursday. I'll do it Thursday night. But let me know after that when you want to watch the series, and I will try to keep my comments to myself.
I hope you have a very strong helmet. I think I get mine from the exact same manufacturer that supplies Doomcock. So, I mean, I can give you that contact info, in a private message,
Captain Trek, what I will do is I will send you a link to my Discord, and this way you can watch it with us or anything that I decide to have a watch party for on my server on Discord. And the same goes for you, Padawannabe. Just let me know how I can best get in contact with you, and I will send you the link. Okay. The article goes on to say, instead, the two parties reached a middle ground. The city planet Hosnia Prime was created as a stand-in for Coruscant, another city planet that served as the galaxy's new capital. In the final cut of The Force Awakens, Hosnian Prime, which looks strikingly similar to Coruscant, was destroyed by the First Order Starkiller base as its operators flex their muscles by destroying an entire solar system full of planets. The insider Lucasfilm executive Pablo Hidalgo made these revelations in a series of since deleted posts on Twitter. Basically, BR, J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot, wanted it blown up. Lucasfilm didn't. Hosnian Prime was unsatisfying and was the unsatisfying middle ground. It happens. Okay, so he goes on to say, Hidalgo later added another tweet to further clarify his comments. I should say some folks because it's not like companies have points of view. He tweeted, yeah, right. Okay, what world are you living in, Pablo? There was one major reason Lucasfilm may have wanted to spare the fan favorite city planet. Colin Trevorrow, the filmmaker originally slated to direct the final of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, had planned to make Coruscant a key setting in his canceled film Duel of Fates. Yeah, I had heard about that, and from what I had heard about on different videos when they were talking about the script, it sounded like it would have been better than what we actually received. Go figure. Hidalgo stated that one of the reasons Coruscant was off limits was its involvement in another Star Wars project. It seems likely that this project was Trevorrow's since canceled film. It would have been better without the Star Killer at all, but that's a whole nother discussion. But I think Coruscant being in development in other projects was a big reason for the resistance. Okay, it goes on to say this news further emphasizes an oft-repeated criticism fans have voiced about the trilogy, an apparent lack of coordination between the three films directors and lack of vision from Lucasfilm led to a final product that many described as feeling disappointed. Rather than asking the directors to follow a pre-planned, cohesive story template for the trilogy, Lucasfilm gave complete creative control to each new installment to the movie's director. Well, that was one of their major mistakes.
Yep.
I'm back, by the way.
Welcome back.
Indeed.
During an interview with Collider, Abrams suggested that the trilogy would have been better off if there had been a plan from the beginning. I'm gonna say this, and I mean it. It is my opinion, but no shit, Sherlock.
Yeah,
Klingons love battle. Come on.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, because if I go on a rant, we ain't ever gonna get to Orville. If I go on a rant.
Go ahead and rant.
I honestly, when he's like, "Oh well, if we had that," no, I'm sorry, no, JJ, no, no, sorry,
you don't get to say that.
Force Awakens was just A New Hope. Last Jedi was a terrible version of Empire Strikes Back, and The Rise of Soywalker was a terrible version of The Return of the Jedi. Because if you watch them, you can deliberately see parts of each of the OG movies that they took and they put. Even the premise, the way that they ebb and flow, felt exactly like the OG trilogy. You have the Resistance or the Rebel Alliance from OG. They get their they take down the big baddie, but then in the second movie, they get their asses kicked, and then they rise again in the third one in a desperate act to save the galaxy. It was a terribly redone version of the OG movies. Okay,
and don't forget the end movie, desperate attempt to save the soul of the evil Sith Lord.
Yep. And the thing is, and like I've said, if I have to put any of the worst sci-fi battles I've ever seen, and from TV and cinema, the Rise of Skywalker big battle was one of the worst. There was no stakes.
Oh, wait. Hold on. And how do we skip back? The saddest attempt at one of the most powerful moments in cinematic history. No, Rey, he's your grandfather. What? Did you try to bite the... I am your father. You really? Really? You were trying...
And then how about this? Well, why don't we just try and ram it, like the Admiral did? No, that was 1,000,000 chance. And yet, what do we see when you see all of the First Order Star Destroyers going down over Endor? You see somebody doing the light speed ram maneuver. You literally see it.
Really? I missed that. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Oh, when they're over Endor, you see this kind of like white streak, and then the First Order Star Destroyer being almost cut in half.
Wow. No
continuity. I didn't pick up on it, and then not long after it came out, I'm talking less than a week, somebody pointed it out. And granted, they obviously went in there with their phone and they recorded that scene, and then they slowed it down. So you see the ship entering hyperspace, aka the white streak, just as it hits the First Order Star Destroyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am done.
Which basically means the Rebel Alliance, when they made their run on the first Death Star, all they had to do was tell one of their X-Wing pilots, like, okay, all you got to do is enter hyperspace at this exact point, pointed directly at the Star Destroyer. Battle of Endor never needed to happen.
Nope.
Mm-mm. And remember, the
Battle of Yavin didn't have to happen.
Battle of Yavin, that's what I'm saying. All you need to sacrifice was one ship.
Yeah.
One ship. That's all you had to do. The Battle of Endor, when you watch the Battle of Endor, even for its time, that is such an awesome space battle to watch. Because remember, they were very limited because all those ships were models with the CG, with everything. They were very limited to a big space battle that they could do. But even then, it was epic to watch.
Yeah,
it was so epic. Okay, and we get in Rise of Skywalker, we get this enormous fleet. Okay, we're getting, as they put it, the entire galaxy. We get all these ships, tens of thousands of ships. We get thousands and thousands and thousands of Star Destroyers. This should have dwarfed the Battle of Coruscant by a factor of 1,000,000. Remember when the Battle of Coruscant was happening in Episode 3? You see your two Jedi starfighters, they're flying over the victory, the Benidorm, and then they bank down, and you just see CIS and Republic ships slugging it out. You're like, oh my God, this is incredible. I don't know if I'll ever see a battle ever like this in cinema history. It was so epic. We could have had, that would have been like the Battle of Endor in Return of the Jedi compared to what we could have gotten. But no, it was hit that big gun and the whole thing will blow up.
Yeah, that was so stupid. How do you know this?
Oh,
because I want to know how these ragtag rebels have an intelligence organization that rivals The Tal Shiar.
You know, I mean, they even
Or the
state
Obsidian Order.
of the. Well, oh yeah, well no, but here's the funny thing: Return of the Jedi. They even state they get the Death Star 2 plans when they show. She even says many Bothans died to get us this information.
Oh yeah, the
So
Bothans
that's assuming
net.
it was like a mass slaughter of Bothans to get the Rebel Alliance this information. Oh my God, the Resistance, which has 2 squadrons of starfighters and 1 old Corellian Corvette, the CR-90, that's all they have. They apparently can get all the data they need.
Right.
That the entire Rebel Alliance, which was an enormous fleet, they had actual secret shipbuilding. They had funding. They had all these various things, okay, that an organized army would have. And yes, it was ragtag because there was no formalized ship productions, but they actually had shipyards where they would actually make the fighters, the Starhawk, all these various ships they actually made, okay, or got through third party subsidiaries that were secretly funneling ships and materials, okay. The Rebel Alliance had organization. The Resistance had nothing, yet the Resistance was somehow able to get better information at less of a cost than the Rebel Alliance did.
Okay, let me save you some aneurysm points. Bad writing sums this all up, okay? Just like some of the flaws of, like I said, Deep Space Nine and whatnot. It's like, that's just bad writing, okay? There's no way that minefield should have held back the Dominion fleet, okay? Doesn't matter, even if they all replicate. Just take one of the Dominion's biggest ships, park it right in the center of the minefield, and trigger a warp core breach. Goodbye! You'll blow up so many mines, it will never recover.
No, because they wouldn't be able to replicate fast enough.
Exactly. One warp core breaching ship in the middle, gone. And even time it too. Be like, get ready to send a signal to the other side. Tell them to rush the wormhole.
Yeah.
Because even if by some miracle those mines could replicate in time, because that's going to be several 100 kilometers of Jem'Hadar ship being that big, maybe several 100 kilometers of mines, or at least 50 kilometers of mines. Obliterated. And then boom, they rush their whole fleet in. Roll credits. Oh
yeah,
God.
I mean, again, it's easy. It's easy to criticize, that and everything like that. And I'm not saying that there's not any criticism that can't happen there. Yeah. But it's just one of those things where you're just like, in sci-fi, there's something about sci-fi when you get a well-executed space battle, whether it's in TV or in cinema, there's something about it that has on the edge of your seat. You're eating popcorn so fast because you have bloody nubs because you have no fingernail left. You're scarfing down. You're taking your kid's M&Ms and he's crying, and you say, "I'll give you something to cry about." And you're scarfing his M&Ms down. Okay, you're sucking down the guy 5 seats down soda because the space battle can be that.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Seat.
Yeah, that is correct. I agree.
Yeah,
and it's like writers. Wait, what did I miss?
The Battle Wannabe says the Resistance had an incredibly experienced General Leia at that point, and well, that's it. Okay, you win. Okay, yeah, no, I mean, that's the thing is that, okay, General Leia was very experienced, yes, but at the same time, remember, one person can't make the difference. It takes, so
Tell that to Luke fucking Skywalker.
Yeah, I mean, and again, what's so funny is that when they realize that they're being tracked in the Last Jedi, because remember, they locked on to the capital ship, okay? They didn't bother saying, "Hey, let's transfer all ships, okay? We have all our starfighters, okay? We have any starfighters left? Okay, deploy them out, okay? Deploy them." Any ships that are not hyperspace capable, get them on our other ships. Because remember, they had several other smaller ships, okay? They could have said, okay, get all those ships onto these other ships, okay? As many as we can get. Funnel everyone off this big ship onto the tiny ships, even if there's literally like crammed in like sardines. Because if they're tracking the big ship, then what you do is that you get everyone onto the smaller ships and you hyperspace jump away from with those. You sacrifice the big ship, but that way you can at least escape. You don't lose, you know, part of, you know, you sacrifice your command ship for the remnants of your fleet.
I mean, it's a arguable strategy, because then you're going to be caught, like I said, with less ships to engage in future battles. So it's like you want to avoid, if all possible, having to sacrifice your larger, especially capital ships, to save smaller vessels.
No, yeah, strategically I would agree, but if we're going with The Last Jedi, you don't want to, because remember, the other two ships lost fuel, because remember, they burned out all their fuel, so they were destroyed. So in the end, you lost all 3 ships.
Oh God, and that fuel shit too irritates the hell out of me. But
the thing is, they did. There is an explanation for why, because everyone's like, well, how are X-wing starfighter? There is an actual Star Wars explanation for why that is.
Why? What is actually? Make sure we're on the same page.
So in Star Wars, yeah, there's space, but there's also like a thin layer of gas that permeates the Star Wars galaxy, which is how the Starwing, that's how the Star Wars fighters are able to fly as if they're kind of like an atmosphere without needing like crap tons of RCS thrusters, like how it is in Battlestar Galactica, because there's like a thin like gas layer of there's like a thin gas that permeates the entire Star Wars galaxy, which is why starships can't just use inertia and cut their engines. They have to keep burning their engines to propel forward, because this thin layer of gas puts enough resistance to where you need to keep your engines on.
Yeah, but that should still take a hot minute. If it's a thin layer of gas, it should take God knows how long for something like a Mon Calamari cruiser to, slow to a halt.
Right. But again, and the funny thing is, I love it how in The Last Jedi, when they say, we have allies in the Outer Rim and whatnot, we're going to hold off. How epic would it have been that if all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, like we have nothing else left, like Luke goes out there and the First Order's there. How epic would it have been if all of a sudden you hear like the radio, the communicator crackling, and then all of a sudden you hear someone over it saying something along the lines of, General Organa, are you there? Are you there? And they're like, what? And all of a sudden you see, sir, there's ships exiting hyperspace, and they're like, more First Order? No, we don't know who they are. And all of a sudden you see maybe like a half dozen or 10 like older ships, maybe even some from the Rebel Alliance used back in the day, and they all come and they're firing on the First Order fleet, and you see a bunch of transport ships go down to the planet to pick up the remaining resistance guys. In the meantime, those allies of their ships are slowly getting picked off one by one. It would have been an epic kind of like rescue moment, to show that, because remember, the whole thing was we have allies in the Outer Rim that'll come and help us. They never showed up. So I feel like you kind of built up a moment that could have happened into nothing.
Yeah,
that's essentially what they did.
Yeah. You could have had a little space battle there where, yeah, these allies, they can't hold off the First Order but for maybe 5 minutes, but that's enough time where they can hold them off to basically get everyone's asses onto these transport ships that will, jump you guys away to safety and whatnot. Like, they're willing to sacrifice these half dozen or 10 ships to get the rest of the remaining members of the resistance back into the Outer Rim, where they can reorganize with an element of force. We never got that.
Yep. Nope.
And that could be where you introduce the Tantive 4 that we see in Rise of Skywalker. That they found it, they rebuilt it, and updated it And that's their new command ship. That's because that you can say we found this. Are the Allies in the Outer Rim? They found this and they rebuilt it as a command ship, as like an iconic ship kind of thing. That's where you could have introduced that, not just, hey, where the hell did you get that ship from?
Oh man, stop talking
I told you I'd rant.
incontinuity.
I told you I'd rant. I told you.
This rant's about to trigger a
That's
rant,
all right.
a rant
That's
about
all
the
right.
Dominion War. Where was
I
the
told you
Enterprise?
you could.
Why was the Enterprise not even mentioned? Ah,
I know. I gave you guys permission, and you took
let's
the
get to
ball and you
Orville.
ran with it.
Let's talk about Orville now.
Let me finish this article. And then we'll get to the juicy stuff. The whole reason why everybody's here.
I thought it was
Okay.
our amazing presence.
Well, I know Patriots, one, guy that can just come out there and be congenial and be charismatic, and I don't know if everybody's here to see me.
This guy.
All right. Well, let's get on with this article, so then we can get to the whole reason why we're here. It says, you just never really know, but having a plan, I have learned. Wait. J.J. Abrams has learned something? Nah.
That's fake news.
In some cases, the hard way is the most critical thing, because otherwise, you don't know what you're setting up. Well, we never know what you're setting up, JJ.
Because you don't even know.
You have mystery box after mystery box after mystery box.
Oh, I remember that.
You don't know what to emphasize, because if you don't know what the inevitable of the story, you're just as good as your last sequence or effect or joke or whatever. Yes, but not everything needs to have a stupid joke that's out of place. And that's what you saw in this sequel trilogy. One stupid joke out of another that was out of place.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to be leading to something inevitable. So you never did, JJ. You failed. You're nothing but a failure. In my opinion.
You caused us much emotional damage.
Yep. And it says YouTuber Ryan Cannell of RK Outpost relayed these ideas in his own coverage of Hidalgo's revelations. These people lack any creativity whatsoever, and so then when they're dead set on controlling a massive planet, they make up one. Kittle said, Disney Star Wars is so terrible. Star Wars is being made by people that don't know what they're effing doing. J.J. Abrams is a complete and total hack, and once again, he's being exposed for it. Yeah. Look at the Star Trek movies that he did. Can you guys honestly say, looking back, that any of those 3 movies were good?
I've always said the first one, if you just take it for a sci-fi action movie, it's decent. But if you take it as a serious Trek movie, then it's terrible. So there's 2 ways you can take it depending on how you want to watch it.
I see your point. I mean, the only good point for me was seeing Leonard Nimoy as Spock again.
No, you're I can't argue with that right there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough waiting. It's time to welcome ourselves back to the galaxy with some old friends who we haven't seen in 3 years. All right.
Yep.
Is everybody ready? I hope you are, because here it is, and I will be pausing this as much as I need to. And real quick, the Padawan, I have always said they are great action movies that just happened to have Star Trek themes in it. Yeah, he's absolutely right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, members of the panel, here we go.
So beautiful.
Oh, this is so great. I'm glad you said something right now, Colin, because I was about to pause it anyway and to say, okay, these first few seconds, these first 20 seconds, how are you doing right now? How are you feeling?
I am amazed because we go back to the big battle, and they amped up the special effects even more for it, so it looks even more beautiful. But while you're watching it, you still get the sense of urgency because you see the Kalon. They're still taking out Union ships. They're still taking out Krill ships, and whatnot. So even though the Krill have entered the fight, you're still seeing the Krill and the Union fight side by side, and they're still losing ships. So you still get that element of the desperation that battle portrayed. But it's done so beautifully. It's just, I mean, if there was any better way to open up a first episode, I don't know of any show in the history of TV shows that could have possibly opened it any better way.
I agree. What about you, TK? Are you kidding me? Did he step away at the best part?
He did.
All right, we'll continue.
Oh.
And I'm pausing it right here on purpose, and I'm going to do it every 20 seconds. But, I mean, look at the shot. We didn't see shots like this in season 1 or season 2. But look at the detail.
The detail, I mean, everything has just been amped up even more. I mean, remember, Gary saw the set of Orville season 3. He had to sign an NDA. He couldn't say anything. All he said was, if you liked season 1 and season 2, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Huh.
And
Orville talk finally.
And if this sneak peek is any even morsel, a little taste of what's to come, oh doggy,
we're in for a treat. We are in for a treat.
Oh yeah, he's not playing no more. I think he's real pissed. He's like, "You want to mess up, Trek? You want to mess up, Trek? Fine, I'll be the hero you want and the hero you need."
Yep. This, so beautiful.
How is this only at 100? Wait. This is only at 150K views. Something's wrong here.
Yep.
Is this the official trailer?
It's the official one from
peek.
It's on Hulu.
It's the first like 3.5 minutes of episode 1.
I hope this video is old because I mean,
it was posted on Friday. It was posted on Friday.
Only 156K views. It has been out since Friday. WTF, YouTube.
And Dependent Wannabe says, I've seen this. I thought to myself, well, it looks like these people were being very productive during these last couple of years. He also goes on to say, this reminds me of seeing the Star Wars prequels. Wow, I didn't even know they could do that. Yeah, it definitely gives you the prequel vibe. Okay, so here we go again. And we see Marcus running through the corridors.
I love this because you still hear the weapons fire outside during the battle, and you see what the rest of the ship is going through during this fight.
I mean, look, things are exploding left and right.
Mm-hmm.
People are screaming. People are dying. Come on, Marcus, make it. I mean, even this coming up right here. This would suck. This would absolutely suck.
It's the Orville version of Tower of Terror.
Yep. Except you're not in the seat. You don't have a seatbelt on. You're free floating and keep running. I love getting this exterior view too. And now things have gotten real bad. There's a hull breach. And Marcus is going to be hanging on for dear life just to try to get into this next section of the ship. Man, this is epic.
Indeed. Reminds me of the opening of the first Jar Jar Trek battle.
Yep. And now we see Marcus arrive at our quarters. Let me get there. There we see Ty looking out the window, seeing another Union ship destroyed. Wow. And then we see Isaac.
And then it's got to be a dream sequence.
Now, okay. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. What if that's a Kalon who's come aboard the ship and it's posing as Isaac?
That's
and Isaac is actually still on the bridge.
But I was talking to someone, I can't remember who, but we were going over how the whole way that this scene is set up is like it's a dream sequence. This kid is just somehow managing to skirt death left, right, and center, managing to open every door, not get a scratch on him, and then come to this conclusion. I mean, it sounds like a dream or, my bad, nightmare sequence.
Yeah.
And the Paddock wannabe says that he's curious to see how they deal with Yaphet's character. Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how they deal with Yaphet after this season, because according from Seth MacFarlane, Norm Macdonald was able to record all his lines for Yaphet for season 3 before he passed away. So that'll be interesting. And now we get to the season 3 opening. So just like Star Trek The Next Generation, where it had a brand new opening in season 3, as does the Orville. This theme, man.
Okay, I obviously you could tell they redesigned the shuttles.
Or these are variants of shuttles that we haven't seen yet.
Another fair possibility, yeah.
Man, I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Mm-hmm.
And it's still keeping the exploration aspect by having to go through various gas anomalies and And we see Mockless, because these are the Mocklin vessels.
I love how this is like how it's very Voyager-esque too.
Yes.
Like the opening.
Yes. They're boldly going where no one has gone before.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Ann Winters is playing Anson Charlie Burke. She's a new character for season 3. Wow. And, give the effects department their due. When Seth said that the budget was increased, the effects are going to be better, and everything's going to be on a grander scale, moving to Hulu, well, this opening certainly proves that he's right, and I can't wait to see more. And as you can see, it comes out June 2nd. I cannot wait, guys. I cannot wait.
It's going to be epic. Do you know what I also love about the Orville's when it enters FTL? It's clean. It's not flashy or anything or whatnot. Like I'm not saying Trex was flashy or anything, but it's just super simplistic. But there's something elegant about it at the same time.
It's majestic.
Well, the Orville's a beautiful ship to look at too. Beautiful.
You know what it kind of reminds me of, especially near the front, of a dolphin.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, the Union ships look like dolphins and the Mocklin ships look like whales.
Yeah. I will say this too, that they really show in this, which the newer Trek has not shown at all, is that ships can look beautiful, but they can also be different. Like, who would have thought kind of have like three semicircles, and your semicircle is your engine pod. The krill ships look very different. They're not like what you would see in a lot of sci-fi typically. But they really work well. The Mocklin ships, they're big, kind of almost cumbersome looking, but they're designed that way because they're warships. They carry a lot of firepower, so they're big, kind of like big, bulky freighter looking ships. We see with the Kalon, very machine looking, like the Kalon. We used to get that in sci-fi. If you look at, let's look at Stargate. You got the Gold. Their ships were very, inspired off of a lot of Egyptian design and everything. The human ships were very kind of clunky looking, but very militaristic at the same time, kind of like what you'd see with like an aircraft carrier to a degree. Then you get into Atlantis, the Hive. They're an insectoid-esque race, so their hive ships almost kind of look like like a hive. They were hives, but like a hive you'd see hanging off of a tree or on the ground or something like that. They were very, very distinct, and I feel like that's something a lot of new Trek has not given us, or sci-fi lately has not given us.
Even here in this shot, we see new fighters that the Union's going to be using. These don't look like your standard shuttlecraft.
Well, they show the fighters briefly in season 2. They don't show them for very long. There's only one real shot with them, and you see it's like a 1 or 2 squadrons, and they kind of bunch up and they just like start like firing on a Kalon ship, and the Kalon ship just like cuts them to pieces. So you do see them briefly, but they do look like that. We just get a better shot of it here, though.
And I want to say hello to Whoopa Troopa. Welcome, brother. Glad you could be here.
Yeah, Whoopa, don't forget, I still got a Pokeball with your name on it.
And he's saying he just woke up. Understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, even the detail on the Kalon ships.
Mm-hmm. The Union ships, the shading on the Union ships.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how they're, depending where they're flying, depends on where the sunlight's hitting it.
Yep.
It's just beautiful. But the thing is that you could say, well, they did that in Star Trek Discovery. But the thing is, it's the way that they do it. Star Trek Discovery ships are just very dark.
All right, I'm just going to wait for Patriot because he just muted himself, so I'm going to let him finish his thought. But this shot right here, where you see the Union ships going after...
My earbud died there. I had to swap out to pop another one in.
All right, go ahead and continue your thought.
But like Star Trek Discovery, those ships were very dark. I mean, all the Star Trek Discovery ships, the Federation ships, they weren't like this bright color that you see in every single season, whether it was a warship or an exploration or a science. They had that like brighter gray. The Discovery ships are a very, very dark gray, if not black kind of color. Very almost depressing in look. The Union ships are not like that. They carry that more Federation-esque look of a lighter gray with a little blue mixed in even. And it just, the detail is so much better on all these Union ships. And remember, a lot of these ships they're not the hero ship. They're just in a battle, but the detail, they pay a lot of attention to detail. Even the weapon effects, when you see the ships firing, even they look better, much cleaner, a little crisper, but with a lot of detail to them. So they're not just little bolts. There's a level of effect to them that really make them pop.
Well, not only that, when you compare this to the season 2 finale of Discovery, this is a much better way of doing it. It's cleaner. You can actually see, you know, what ships are firing out the other ship. And
yeah,
I mean, in that season 2 finale for Discovery, all you saw was a jumbled mess. All these shuttlecraft that shouldn't be able to fit inside the shuttle bay on both ships are coming out of the ships, and it's a complete total mess, just like the live action Transformer movies.
Agreed. It's I heard I got canceled. Wait, oh my gosh. We talked about Whoopi earlier, so.
Yep. Whoop, if you want to watch this later on, you can. Everybody is more than welcome to watch this later on. Leave comments and all that good stuff. I mean, you know, this is the Union ships chasing these 3 large Kalon ships. And they're not letting up.
Chasing these 3 large Kalon ships.
Hey, I hear myself.
And they're not letting up. Chasing these
Suicide.
3 large Kalon ships. Hey, I hear myself.
Oh, that's my bad.
But even this beam effect right here, this is well done.
I had to go do the food thing.
the food thing.
So I ended up last night not making that sandwich that I said I was going to make, right? So I made it with a Philly cheesesteak meat, grilled onions, 2 flat eggs, all seasoned with garlic salt.
Okay, that does sound really good. Dang.
Oh yeah, that came out right.
Dang it! Now I want one. I hate you right now.
I mean,
PACIFIC414, aka the Food Channel.
Don't get any ideas, folks. I'm not going to start cooking on streams or anything like that. Not anytime soon.
Oh no, we'll just talk about it. But yes, this
PACIFIC414, where you come to get hungry.
Right?
I was already a little hungry. He started describing that sandwich. I'm like, dang, okay, you're really not helping me right now.
Bruh, then I might be even more of a dick. I got the onions perfectly cooked, so they're like soft on the outside, but it's still that crunch on the inside. Oh.
And then, even this closer shot of the Orville, look at all the detail they put into it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, some of it might be the practical model, but the other parts of it are CGI as well.
I can't wait to see the upgrades.
What? Nope.
Are you having an aneurysm over there?
I just briefly went on to Facebook just for like 2 seconds, and I Star Trek memes, which is where that Galron one I told you about earlier was. One of them was it showed the admiral from Discovery, the 31st Century Federation, and under it was a headline: Japanese researchers have developed an artificial meat from poop.
Wow.
I don't know if it's true or not. If it's satire or if it's real.
I hope it's satire.
I hope
like a
it's
Babylon B
satire.
article.
It wasn't. It wasn't a Babylon B article. I'm actually going to look this up now because if it is, I
Wow. Faith in humanity depleting.
And could you repeat that for Whoopa? Because I think he's still trying to process it like the rest of us.
This is okay. So this is actually legit. This is an old article though. This is from 2011. This is from Fox News.
What?
Japanese scientists create meat from poop.
Damn it, Japan!
Well, it gives a new meaning to eat shit and die.
I can't even. Yeah.
This is actually a legitimate story. I kid you not. I'm doing a quick read. It is from again 11 years ago. 11 years ago.
Is that why ballpark hot dogs started tasting different?
Maybe.
They start making ballpark franks in Japan.
What the hell?
I legitimately don't even have anything to say. I legitimately don't have anything to say.
Whoopa, I think you're correct there.
An artificial what? Yes, artificial meat. Because he said there's protein still in your poop. So we found a way to extract the protein, mix it with a binder agent and a little bit of like other stuff, and to create an artificial steak.
Is this your revenge for me telling you about the sandwich that I'm currently eating right now?
No, this is revenge for threatening me with an ungodly amount of Ellen DeGeneres and Lily Singh.
Well, at least if you ever go to his place, and he serves you a steak, and he asks you, "How's the steak?" You can legitimately say, "Tastes like shit."
Wow.
Well, hence why they showed the admiral above the headline, the admiral from the 31st century Starfleet. Because remember when they're like, this food tastes like shit, and they're like, oh yeah, we repurpose a lot of stuff. Why? Why?
Yeah, in Next
Why?
Generation, they explain how the replicators worked.
Well, they're more advanced in Next Generation as well.
Yeah.
But what Patriot is talking about is from the 3rd season of Discovery. It's supposed to be even more advanced than Next Generation, DS9, and Voyager because it's set in the 32nd or 31st century.
I see.
So yeah.
Yeah, I
My disappointment is
Anyways.
immeasurable.
anyways. Yeah, this shot of just seeing the Orville in the middle of the battle, even if it is a dream sequence, just actually seeing it, because whenever you get sci-fi battles, whether it's in TV or movies, you don't really get a sense of what's really happening on the ship during the fight. You see on the exterior of the ship, but never the interior.
What are
So
you talking about?
this is nice to see.
Bridge consoles and shit be exploding all the time in Star Trek.
No, but the rest of the ship. You see what's happening on the bridge, but not like in Deck 4, Section 38. You don't see like explosions of panels, from other sections of the ship during a battle. Usually, maybe you might get a shot of engineering, but I'm talking just like a random corridor. Like he's going through the mess hall. He gets down a turbo lift, and the turbo lift all of a sudden, the safeties deactivate and it starts falling before the emergency safeties kick in. The whole corridor, there's a decompression, and he's trying to climb in and whatnot. You don't see that in the only time you saw anything like that was in the beginning of Star Trek 09, when they first encounter the Narada, and you get that one shot of when the ship is hit, and you see the woman like being vented out into space.
Well, that was also in the Wrath of Khan, when the torpedo room got hit. When I think the first few torpedo hits on the saucer section.
Right? No, but that's what I'm saying. We haven't gotten that in a long.
That was
time,
actually in Undiscovered Country when the saucer section gets hit, and you actually see it go through.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And you see like that mess hall like exploding and whatnot. Yeah. Like again, but you got to go back to that was what Undiscovered Country was late 80s.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
I think they saw a lot of random damages on all 3 battles of Deep Space Nine.
The Undiscovered Country was 91, so it's going to be 31 years.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And DS9, I don't remember if you did or didn't. I don't remember. You might have. I just don't remember it.
Especially when the Klingons showed up. Oh my goodness.
I mean, when the Klingons showed up, Yeah.
They were beaming in the promenade. I'm like, why are you beaming in the promenade?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. When the Klingons like first start beaming in when they're attacking. Yeah. Yeah. You're right there.
Well, that was probably their whole.
Go ahead.
That was probably one of their reasons when they showed up in Way of the Warrior, of trying to find out where the most populous of people would be if they were to attack the station. So yes, the promenade would be where you'd have a large amount of people.
Yeah, but the Klingons they'd want a large amount of warriors, and they're going to know because they're not, they want honorable combat, which would state the important command areas, engineering, the cargo base holding important supplies and weapons. It's like it'd be like attacking a military base, and instead of concentrating on destroying the hangars and the tank depots, you attack the commissary. Why are you wasting? I mean, you waste men to attack the commissary.
Odo's security office was also on the promenade. That's where you're going to have a large contingent of security officers.
Yeah, but not nearly as much as they're going to have. Most of the security officers are going to be spread across those vital sections. Odo can security from any console on the ship. Hell, he can security from his comm badge.
No, you're right there. But remember when Cisco, tells Odo, report, and he lists almost a half dozen different areas of the station that they currently have the Klingons contained. But he says, I don't know how long we can keep them contained.
Yeah.
So there was at least a half dozen places all over the station that we know they beamed into, that there was firefights happening on the station. There might have been more that just weren't said, potentially.
Man, I wish they established some reason that photon torpedoes can't be beamed, because like every single Starship Trek battle, like, oh, the shields are down. All right, beam a couple of photon torpedoes into ops. All right,
I mean, if the shields are down, why not just shoot them?
That's what I mean. Like, it's like, damn it. Like, that's when when you paint yourself into a corner because you make your stuff too OP. Like, if he could just
what Hollywood and the comics industry is doing with a lot of their characters now, making their characters too overpowered. And
yeah, exactly. Because I'm like, ever since the transporter, and I think who did it? Janeway? Did Janeway do it? I think Janeway started beaming torpedoes over into Borg ships, and I'm like, they can just do that?
Well, funny enough, they did that also in the beginning of the second season of Stargate Atlantis, because the Daedalus shows up and it has the Asgard beaming, and the Asgard didn't want their technology like that to be weaponized. But they were like, it's the only way, because they say Hermiad, the Asgard that was on board, the Daedalus, he says, he has many objections to this that he's loudly stating. They state
yeah, I remember that scene.
And then the Wraith develop a countermeasure to prevent beaming in.
Some type of dampening field, I think it is.
Yeah, they don't specifically state why. They just say they've deployed countermeasures. That's all they state. They didn't specify what kind of countermeasures, but some form of countermeasure to prevent beaming in from the Daedalus.
Or maybe that's my sci-fi brain going, obviously it'd be some type of dampening field.
Of some sort, yeah. It'd be something, whatever it would be. Which is why when the two Wraith ships in season 2 are heading to Earth, there's that pivotal moment when they're like, okay, we're disabled. We can't fight anymore. The Wraith ship is badly damaged. And then that's when Michael says, I've disabled their countermeasures. But they will realize the countermeasures are disabled, and they will reactivate them. And that's when they're like, beam over the gas that can turn Wraith back into humans.
Oh my! How did I miss that? Whoopa! Oh my God, Whoopa! He's like this channel's Grim. Whoopa Chupa's I heard it got canceled. Oh no, that's Whoopi, not Whoopa.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Whoopa's a good dude.
If Whoopa all of a sudden disappears from the internet, it's because I finally caught him in my Pokeball that I've specially designed for him.
Wow.
Well, because Whoopa is a Pokemon, so you catch Pokemon with Pokeballs.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Whoopa's an actual Pokemon in the game.
I see.
It's kind of like a little thing that I'll just say once in a while, just because it's, I don't know. I find it funny. Whoopa might hate my guts, but
2, not 3, and 6 they surrendered. Who surrendered? I'm hilarious.
Remember in Star Trek 6 when the Klingon D7 is about to fire on the Enterprise after the torpedo hit?
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And Kirk says,
we surrender. Yeah.
I did not see that coming. First time I saw that, I did not see that coming. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yep.
Kirk's real good at the fighting.
I am hilarious. It's true. You're a good guy, Whoopa. That sounds a little stalkery hatred.
Hey! You are the rare Pokemon. You are the metallic Charizard with the that's the Pokemon card from back in the 90s. That's why I got a specially created Pokeball just for catching you one day.
That sounds like what I say to the Gigasaurus on Ark.
And you know what's gonna make us all go, huh? Real quick when we're watching season 3 of the Orville is the fact that because of the pandemic, the coup, we're gonna see Marcus get older during season 3. We're gonna see Ty get older during season 3. Because remember, they had to stop production.
Yeah, it was about like halfway through.
That's easy though, in this sci-fi and in war shows or anything, easy time jump, easy time skip.
I mean, honestly, what they could even do is that could be like a mid-season finale kind of thing where there's like a pivotal battle, probably maybe with the Kalon even, where the Orville's badly damaged, and then they state basically like they had to almost rebuild the ship like from nothing again. And you could explain a time jump that way where it took them so long after this big battle. That's why there was a time. I mean, there's ways they can explain a time jump.
Oh, it can easily be like, because wait, I can't remember. Was the war hot at the end of the series?
It wasn't necessarily I don't know if you'd call it a necessary war per se.
Because
like they weren't at like formal war with them, with the Kalon. They just knew they were out there, like in the galaxy.
Maybe you could another easy way of explaining a time skip would be like they fucked off. We don't know where they went, and we've been preparing for 2 years for their return. So many ways around that.
Yeah, I'm not concerned if they do a time jump. I'm not that concerned because Seth MacFarlane's been pretty good about explaining stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it because I'm curious what the original plan was. Had what happened, what would we have seen? That's all I'm saying.
No, and that's a very
just
clear statement. Yeah,
he's probably going to stick to his original plan, but with tweaks. Like, okay, I've read an entire script. I'll go back and just tweak what needs to be tweaked for whatever reason. Like, it's still going to be the same plan. It's just going to be tweaked.
Yeah, there's ways you can do it.
Yeah, it's like, instead of jumping right back where I left off, I'm going to just have a few minutes of world building where I go, oh yeah, we've been building up for the last 2 years, upgrading our ships, building more ships, sending out scouting parties, and all. There's so many ways that he can just add. You can add a 30-second conversation to fix a problem as long as it's not too big. Like if there's a massive time gap, then you're gonna have to figure something out. But if it's like a little, these kids grew a couple of inches during the coup.
Well, yeah. Also, the Padawannabe does bring up the fact that, in the last 2 episodes of the Orville, it dealt with the repercussions of altering time.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, because
so we don't know that.
Wait, I forgot. We might actually be in the parallel universe. We're in the parallel universe when it starts, right? Or at the end of the series.
Well,
at the end of the series, all we see at the end of season 2 is Ed and Kelly going out on their date, but we don't know what sort of repercussions might have occurred from changing the timeline once again.
Yeah, because the doctor gives Kelly the proper drug to erase her memory, and then that's when the doctor disappears. Which I assumed that the timeline was fixed. Kind of like Back to the Future in a way, kind of like the timeline was fixed.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I interpreted that. I could be wrong, because the whole point of it was fixing the timeline by getting Kelly to forget everything that she saw and experienced on the Orville. And the doctor disappearing and her going on a second date with Ed, I thought was the timeline correcting itself.
Yeah, but you can't. But she remembered apparently.
Well, no, she remembered because the drug, she has like an enzyme in her system that prevented the drug from wiping her memory, and then that's where the season finale of 2 came in, where they found the doctor adjusted the drug to counter the enzyme so she would forget everything.
Yeah, it worked the second time. It didn't work the first time, but it worked the second time.
Right. And that's why the doctor
okay.
disappeared. So that's why I assumed the timeline had been fixed, because she went on the first date with Ed, which, if that didn't happen, then the events of the Orville that we had seen all the way up until pretty much the season finale would have never happened. That was the whole point of the season finale, is that what if Kelly didn't go on that second date with Ed, then what would have happened, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So her going on a second date with Ed, to me, indicated that the timeline had been fixed. That's the way I interpreted that, at least.
And I'm going to go on record, and I could be wrong, but I'm saying this isn't our Isaac. Our Isaac is still on the bridge. This is a Kalon that managed to get on the Orville. And because they have all the information that Isaac sent them, this particular Kalon is posing as Isaac.
That or it could be a nightmare sequence.
I'm leaning really hard towards a PTSD nightmare.
I mean,
because here's the thing: if that was
look at
a
it this way too. Look at it this way too. This is from the kids' perspective. We didn't see their reaction during that epic battle, so now we're getting their perspective of everything that was going on as civilians.
We don't even know if this is the same battle.
That's another fair point. You're right. It could be a whole entirely different battle. Plus, but here's what leads me to believe it's a nightmare. The Kalon don't have active mouths, so for the Kalon to do that, to me, makes me think it's a nightmare sequence.
Yeah, and then also even the whole color palette changes once he gets into the room. Like the inside of the ship, even though it's a battle, you know, the color is still bright.
Yeah,
it's very one room and it's all gloomy and red and nightmarish. I'm like, this is a nightmare.
Yeah, that's why I'm leaning towards a nightmare sequence. It's a nightmare, like a PTSD kind of nightmare that one of the kids is happening. It
has teeth. It has a tongue. Come on now, no, that's a nightmare.
Yeah, the Kalon never had anything like that. Here's the thing: if a Kalon was there, his head would do the changing thing to where his eyes became the guns, and he would have shot them. He wouldn't be forming a mouth with teeth and everything to eat them. That's why, again, it comes across as a nightmare to me.
I'm going to add to this. If it is a nightmare, it's Marcus's nightmare.
Yeah, because he's the one surviving things that trained officers aren't surviving.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And the fact that he would have been knocked out in that elevator scene. Done. Hit the ground like that, he's done. He's out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good night.
Hit the ceiling like he did, he would have been knocked out.
Ceiling hit and then ground, done. He's out.
Yeah. So we know. Yeah. So honestly, it's a nightmare sequence. Now, granted, if we're proven wrong, then we're proven wrong. But there's no evidence in this scene to indicate to me that it is that it's like another battle or something like that. Because again, we never saw any indication that the Kalon had mouths before.
And there's a lot of cinematic evidence that this is a dream sequence or nightmare sequence.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole bunch of cinematic tropes. I'm like, even when the mouth, as soon as I saw the mouth open, because I was starting to go, how is this kid just surviving all this shit? How does he know all these codes? How does he know the door codes for all these areas of the ship?
He wouldn't.
And then
in normal reality, he wouldn't.
Yeah. And he probably had any of the common areas, maybe, and his quarters.
Yeah. He wouldn't have access to just all these various rooms just abruptly like that.
Yeah. It feels like he was taking shortcuts. I'm like, how are you taking what? And then, like I said, and then the mouth on the Kalon. That's the cinematography of the Kalon, Isaac, quote unquote Isaac. The tone of the room, the color tones change. I'm like, that never. They didn't do anything like that in the other seasons. The color palette and the mood, I guess you could say the overall cinematic mood was consistent throughout the entire series. But all of a sudden they're doing that now. That's a dream sequence. That's a dream sequence.
But taking a look at these shuttles, you do a few cosmetic changes to the exterior of these shuttles, and they could pass as a Starfleet shuttle.
Yeah, it was like Delta Flyer.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love the look of that shuttle. I mean, that is just
Fire.
so beautiful. Oh gosh, like I want a model. I want a freaking model of that ship. I want an Eagle Moss of that shuttle yesterday. It is beautiful to look at.
Indeed.
That is the kind of design that I would honestly expect to see in Trek of some sort. Maybe that's honestly, if you saw the shuttle in Star Trek, first thing I would think that's a specialized shuttle for going down into aquatic areas. So
Which
like
shuttle?
if there's a
Star
planet
Trek?
where a shuttle in Star Trek, that would be what I would think would go underwater, because those fins would
gotcha.
be what you would use to control like on a submarine and whatnot, everything. That's what I would think if I saw that shuttle. It's a specialized shuttle that they would deploy to planets where there's only water.
Yeah.
So this shuttle design is just so beautiful. The moment I saw that, I'm like, oh, please give me more beautiful ships. I have not said that in so long from a sci-fi series. Give me more ships. I need more, because this is so good looking.
And look at it from the ventral point of view.
Oh, it
Real
has
nice.
the mini Orville engines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a
And
work of art
then
right
of course, there's another beautiful ship. She may not be named Enterprise, but she's just as beautiful.
You know what? To me, she is the Enterprise. Her name is up there with honor, just like the Enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
This ship reminds me more of Voyager, though.
No, it does. The opening definitely has more of a Voyager-esque vibe, which I like. I mean, I wasn't always the biggest fan. I wasn't the biggest fan of Voyager's opening, but they did kind of take that same feel with this opening, but just the way that they did it is better. I think they one-upped Voyager's opening with this opening, personally.
Yeah, probably. I mean, yeah, I agree.
I mean, even this closer detailed shot here. Norporeal and I say that when you see the Enterprise in dry dock and the motion picture, that's ship porn. Well, this is also ship porn.
Indeed.
Amen. There's just something about seeing the hero ship in a space dock or in a shipyard like setting when it's just sitting there. That's one thing I loved about the 6 movies that we got. Whenever they showed the Enterprise in space dock, there was just something beautiful about seeing it in space dock. Just something about it. Yeah, majestic.
Oh God, what about all those scenes when in the original series movies when it's pulling in and out of this massive space? What is it? Starbase 1? Yeah.
Starbase 1. Yeah.
Whoa. It's like, whoa, that thing is huge. And the music really gives you too.
Yeah, and it gives you a sense of scale, and that's what you want. You want the Enterprise to be smaller than the space dock or dry dock that it's entering. You don't want them to be the same size, then you lose sense of reality if they're the same size.
Well, yeah. That'd be ridiculous. Man.
I mean, even look at this view. Gosh, that's a nice looking ship.
Indeed.
I mean, I'm curious to know how many hours of work they put into this new opening.
Oh, you don't want to know.
I'm curious.
I second TK. I second TK on that. I don't want to know. All I know is I appreciate their hard work. My hats off. I will buy you a finest cigar and the finest Scotch whiskey that you can get in gratitude for this opening, because it is beautiful to watch.
And it's nice seeing the Mocklin ships in the opening too.
Which makes me think we're going to get a lot more of Mockless in this season.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, how many of them were present at the first battle?
None. Mockless
There
was
were no
not
Mocklin
involved
ships.
Yeah, it was just Union ships.
Oh well, then there's your evidence that it's not the same battle.
This is the opening,
But the Mocklins,
Aaron.
yeah,
this is the opening.
Oh, it's opening. Okay,
they're over Mockless, going towards a Mocklin space station.
Oh, okay, snaps. Never mind. Let me tab back over. Oh.
Yeah, the Mocklins only have enough probably of a fleet for like a system defense force. Probably maybe 100 ships at most, probably enough to defend their planet and their system, but not enough to engage in a massive all-out war, probably. I'm just taking a guess.
But the Romulans, I mean, I put that as a joke, but I actually did forget their name. Krill.
I was going to say, how could you forget to praise Avis? On Friday,
you have the best deals.
On Friday, Avis blessed us with this sneak peek. It was the will of Avis that allowed us to see it.
Plus, also, I got a 20% off discount for a weekend car rental too. So I mean, you know,
nice. At Pacific, letting you know, Silver will be joining us again.
All right.
It's official.
Sounds good.
You know what we gotta all three do once I get my Xbox going again? We gotta play Sea of Thieves together.
Oh, that's been a hot minute. I've been pirated in so long.
I'm down.
The chaos that would happen would be comedy gold.
What you talking about, Willis?
I mean, this part of the opening right here, it reminds me part of Voyager's opening when they're going over the asteroids and comets. And all that detail into the exterior and everything, and even getting close to this star, and you just see the flares. And
yeah, I told you, it's like they one-upped Voyager's opening because it's very reminiscent and similar to Voyager, but it just the way it's done, I think, is so much better.
Oh yeah. This would be Voyager's opening if it was made today.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I would love to have, a wallpaper image of any of these shots.
I know, because there's that. I know, like Christmas time, there's like the little stands that pop up in our mall here, and one of them always has calendars of so much stuff, and one of them is like a Star Trek one where it's got all these like scenes, and I think there's like CG'd scenes that they just put onto like a thing. I want one of the Orville. I don't know if it might exist. I've never actively looked, but I
haven't looked either.
There's one.
And then, we saw a massive fleet in Deep Space Nine at the end of Call to Arms and in other instances in DS9, but just seeing all these ships, and they're all of different designs. They're not the same copy and paste. They're not all Orvilles. They're all, either a ship with one ring, two rings, three rings. Yeah, the fleet admiral ships, of course, and then you have ships of the same class as the Orville.
Mm-hmm. And then it pulls away and activates the quantum drive. Oh gosh, this is just gonna be. I
cannot wait.
Wait.
Ladies and gentlemen, whether you're watching this live or you're watching it after the live broadcast, I cannot wait. I cannot say it enough. I cannot wait for season 3 of the Orville. It gives us hope.
Again, I have not been excited for a sci-fi show to come out in a long time. And every time with the Orville, I was curious about the Orville. I didn't know if it was going to be good or bad because I know, Seth MacFarlane's known for the Cleveland Show and Family Guy and the Ted movies. So I was a little bit concerned because I know he's a huge nerd, but I was wondering where is the show going to go. And within the first several episodes, I was hooked. Like I was a fish with that hook was caught in my mouth so badly there was no way you could get it out, and I didn't want it out. And I couldn't wait when season 1 ended. I couldn't wait for season 2 to start. I was so excited season 2 came out, and then obviously with the pandemic that put off movies and TV shows and everything. So season 3, the build up that we have been waiting for season 3, based on this sneak peek, I think we're gonna get what we wanted and maybe even more potentially. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Pacific, but didn't I think Seth MacFarlane or someone in the directing crew, didn't they say they're going to try and take it a lot more of a sci-fi route? Obviously have the humor, obviously it's Seth MacFarlane, so there's going to be a humorous sides to it, obviously, but they're going to take it down a much more sci-fi route.
Yes, that is what they said. They said it last year in a tweet that everything was to be on a bigger scale, from the stories to the effects, to the runtime of the episodes.
Their budget
so excited.
Probably went way up after they saw how well it was received. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give you more money now, so go make it better."
Yep.
And the thing I like, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say the thing that impressed me too is the Orville. When I first decided to watch the Orville, when I finally said, "Fine, I'll go see what the whole," hubbub is about. I went into the Orville wanting to hate it. I went in there like, let me check out this Star Trek ripoff bullshit, because I'm still salty about STD. I don't know if Picard was out when I first watched Orville.
Picard was out, I think.
Picard came out in 2020.
2. Yeah, so Picard came out in 2020, so Orville season 2 was, I think, already going when Picard came out.
Okay, because I don't know. Yeah, because I don't remember. I remember, STD, but I don't remember a lot about Picard. Maybe because I just already stopped giving a damn at that point. But I went in there thinking STD is crap. Now, we have another guy trying to, copy Trek now. Okay, this is going to be garbage. This is going to be hot garbage left out in a summer's afternoon. And God, was I 100% pleased to be completely proven wrong.
I think we can say and safely say that all three of us were, because even I was looking at the Orville thinking, oh, wait, Seth is creating a Star Trek-like series.
That too. I was like, the guy behind Family Guy?
Oh, no.
Yes, him?
Yes, like you guys have already said, he's a Star Trek fan. He's a sci-fi fan. But I was thinking, oh, God, no.
Same here.
No. So then the show premieres. And I'm watching, I'm going, maybe I spoke too soon.
Oh, no. After episode 1, I was like, 2. It was episode 2. I think it was the same thing, because at first Mercer was a little too much for me in episode 1. But then I don't remember if it was episode 2 or 3 when he brought it down to normal levels, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is good. Give me all of this.
Yeah.
Well, you know what episode really, convinced me that the Orville was going to be a success about a girl. That was a Star Trek story right there.
Wait, which one was that? Was that the one when they went and to what's her Alara's homeworld?
No, that's the one where they go back to Moklis to have Topa change from a female to a male.
Oh, that episode. Yeah, that was some heavy Trek right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was some pure Trekage right there. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing: we could go on for days just praising the Orville and everything, and what the sneak peek gives us hope for, and everything. I mean, it's we could just keep going on and on, though. I mean, it's
Redonkulous.
Well, I mean, I think it shows that the fan that nerdom in general craves and hungers for good sci-fi. And the Orville is the only thing we're getting with good that's genuinely good sci-fi, and it's a homemade thing, meaning it borrows from maybe a little bit. It's obviously more Trek based, obviously, but you could even argue there's a little bit of like Star Wars, even if you wanted to. But nerdom has clamored for something good for a while, and they haven't gotten it. And that's why it's resonating, because you're hitting that nerdom, you're scratching that nerdom itch that nerdom has wanted for so long. And you keep giving them better and better and better with every episode as each season progresses.
Yeah,
and they're going to reward you. And like I said, the only area that they are falling flat on is on the merchandising. You could fund the 10 poorest countries on Earth with the money they would make if you merchandised the Orville stuff.
Yeah, especially character models and video games.
And I do want to say hello to Star Wars Theology. Welcome, Felix. Good to see you, brother.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much, Star Wars Theology. I appreciate that. Give us the merch.
Seriously,
by the way,
I don't want to go to Eagle Moss for my ships. I want to be able to go into a brick and mortar store or go onto Amazon and just simply buy any Orville ship with their shuttlecraft or capital ship that they show. I want to just buy them all.
I don't know if you've seen it, but sometime me and Admiral Pacific are going to go load up the Orville experience and take it and show you that. I mean, that hits some buttons.
I've heard about it. I've never actually done it, but I have heard of it. Yeah.
It's a Steam thing. I don't think you can do it on Xbox. I'm pretty sure you can.
No, I have Steam. I have a Steam account, and I have a few games on Steam. Not a whole lot.
You can use Steam on Xbox?
No, I'm on my PC.
Wait. I thought you didn't have a PC.
No, I do, but I have a Mac, and then I have like a $300 just basic laptop.
Okay, because I was like, if you had a PC, why were you playing Zombie Murder on your Xbox? Okay.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, and because it's a $300 one, it's not really much. The gaming is limited in terms of what I can play.
As soon as you drop that price tag, I went, oh, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Well, I didn't get it. I originally got it for a job that I was starting because you needed to carry around a laptop to do work stuff on. But then that whole thing fell through, so I'm like, well, at least I have a $300 laptop now.
How do I have Tribes of Midgard? Okay, I'm not going to ask. Where is it? The Orville.
But anyways, I mean, do you want to start wrapping up or?
Yep. I do want to start wrapping up here. I'm just posting a few links. Don't mind me. While you guys were talking, I figured I'd take the opportunity to post a few links. Because
here we go. Go ahead.
I do want you to take a look at the two channels I posted in chat. I want you to take a look at Star Wars Theology, and I also want you to take a look at Whoopi Troopa's channel. Both gentlemen produce fine content.
Oh yeah, he dropped me a subscribe. I'm gonna drop him one as well.
But yes, subscribe to everybody who was on this panel. I posted their links earlier. I will do so again. Just give me a second.
Wait, which one is the? Okay, there it is. Gotcha. Too bad they don't work by clicking on them. Wait, do they?
Yeah, you can actually, if you have the option, when you go to the three dots, you can click on it, and if you have the option to go to channel, you can go to channel.
What three
Not
dots?
everybody has that option yet.
Oh,
When you're in the chat.
I see. I do not have the three dots. This makes me speak in a deep, disappointing voice.
And I will
What if I?
once again post
Okay.
your guys' links.
I think I've cheated the system. I think I figured it out.
All right, good.
If I go over to YouTube, there we go. The links work on the YouTube chat. It's not in the Streamlabs chat. Okay.
Exactly. Yes, I am.
Oh!
Your links into the chat. All right. Your guys' YouTube links are in the chat, and TKO and Patriot, I will also put your Twitch links in the chat in case anybody wants to follow you guys on Twitch.
Well, we are about to wait, unless you need a pit stop, Admiral.
He's probably going to want to at least grab something a little bit to eat because we've been going since 11 a.m.
Jesus! Wait.
I've been eating during the stream. I just haven't been noisy about it.
It's 11:37 by the time. Okay, never mind. I was like, what?
Yeah. You're still in that state that shall not be mentioned.
Right.
Dude, get here to Florida, man. Get your rear over here to Florida.
That is a part. That is a plan. That is a plan, especially with how things are going.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna get stupider. I can see it before it gets better. It's gonna get stupider.
So when you pack, so when are you gonna start packing your bags then?
That's something we have to plan out. That escape. Escape New York. Who
my city? My city. So we got my parents are friends with a realtor, and he looks at the numbers of what the projections are for like countrywide. Our city, countrywide, is in the top 5 cities in the nation for expected heavy growth, meaning influx of people moving into. And we're not like a major city, by the way. We're not, but because of where we're located. So, yeah. So get to Florida, man. People are moving here. Housing prices are going up because there's not enough housing in a lot of.
Yeah, I know. That's that. I saw that coming. I'm like, housing is gonna drop here and raise on all the good places. It's like, fuck. I should have planned out.
I mean, you could still get a new home if you built a new home. You could build it for mid 200s, like brand new 3-bedroom, 2-bath, like 1,700 square foot house on like a 1/4 acre lot. Yeah. You can.
God.
I mean, it might not sound cheap, but compared to but compared to where you live.
Stop it! You know when you said that, you know what popped into my head?
What?
My base design for Ark. And how many more walls I got to put up?
Oh God.
Oh snap! Yo, hey, if you do need a pit stop, Pacific, I can show you guys. And the chat, my scum base. A little bit has changed since the last time I showed it to you guys.
I mean, at some point, I am going to have to get off because I got laundry I got to do before the work week. So, you know.
Well, that's what I was just saying. I'm like, so it depends on Pacific. You need a pit stop, or are we pressing forward?
I'm fine, dude.
Alrighty then. Okay, I'll make preparations.
I got to see if my PC can run like. I don't know if it can run War Thunder, because that is a little bit more graphics heavy, I'd say, than probably State of Decay 2.
Your biggest bet for War Thunder would be it's possible, because War Thunder was the reason why it took War Thunder so long to say update their graphics and stuff is because a lot of their audience is in Russia, and Russians don't have the epic monster builds of other places in the world. They've tried very hard to optimize their game for it to run on lower end PCs.
Because if I got to check out the specs of my laptop again and see if because if War Thunder if I can run War Thunder, I might have to lower the graphics some.
Oh yeah, you'll probably have to
get
put
glitchy.
it on. You probably might have to be a ULQ scrub.
But I mean, I gotta look and see, because if I can, then I might jump on War Thunder, get it on Steam and play it through Steam. So which means I'd have to start up from nothing, but at least I'd be able to play it again.
True.
But I would be able to get on with the aircraft though, because I'd be on mouse and keyboard technically.
True.
Yeah, but there should be a way for you to link your Xbox account to War Thunder on Steam. This way you still have all your tank stuff. Excuse me.
I don't know, actually.
I thought you could do that.
I'm able to do that with my PS4.
Wait, I thought Sony was the one that was greedy and wouldn't let you do that.
I haven't looked into it, so I'll have to look into it.
When I first did my War Thunder account, I did it on my PS4. And then when I downloaded the game on PC, I used my PS4 account to log into War Thunder on my PC. Unfortunately, the downside of that is that I can't access the Gaijin store on my PC. I have to go through my PlayStation 4 in order to access the store.
But if you buy something in the PlayStation 4 store, does it bounce it over to your PC or no?
Yes.
Okay. At least you can do that.
Yes.
At least there's a workaround. Okay.
Yeah.
Whoopa. Okay, Whoopa, subscribe. Star Wars Theory, subscribe. All right, spreading the love. Love right back at you, boys.
That's right. I'm trying to plug everybody who has a channel who came into the chat, so that's why it's taking me a little longer to sign off, because I want everybody to subscribe to these channels, because these channels have helped me out. These channels have not only produced great content, but the men and women behind the channels that I've met have produced great content.
We're getting ready to do so right now. It's time for zombie murder. Roses are red, violets are blue. I love turning zombies into piles of goo. But sometimes Pacific...
I literally knew you were going to say that.
But sometimes Pacific...
I figured.
...is impatient. Does not wait for his turn. He blows shit up, and the zombies... But it's all good. We will have a strong defense. Finally, returning to our crew will be common sense. That's it. That's all I got.
It works.
That's all I got. That's all I get. Go away now.
And see, I don't know. I know a lot of my subscribers also follow me on Twitch and vice versa. And I know you guys probably see me post, oh, so-and-so is live, so-and-so is live, so-and-so is live. It's because I want to get eyes on your channel. I want people to see the greatness that I'm seeing. So I am going to hype up your channel.
Your epic speech.
No, it's true. Felix can tell you, Nerporio can tell you, Whoopa can tell you, Spock can tell you, the lovely Sherry could tell you, the Padawannabe could tell you. I don't just post my own stuff that's going to be going on the channel. I also go, subscribe to this person, subscribe to that person. Even people who I'm subscribed to and follow on Twitter. I go, oh, they're streaming. Oh, this is a cool stream. Posting it out. Yeah, and Felix is right. All these channels are great. They're worth your time. Now, I'll admit, the downside is being subscribed to everybody. It's like, oh wait, so and so's on, and so, and I only have so many screens. It's like, okay, open up this window, open up that window, open up that window, open up that window. Multi-view.
Right. Holy crap, bruh! I got something. I got something real stupid planned for the stream, the zombie stream.
Oh,
Hey,
Felix,
y'all gotta-
Felix, TKO, aka DDOD, has something stupid planned. Oh, great! No.
No, you're
That's
gonna
never
love
good.
You're gonna love it. Me showing this to you that what just popped up into my head is probably a bad idea, which makes it a good idea for stream. Because if this works, holy crap! Oh man! Oh, this is the dumbest thing I've ever thought of. Oh my god! This is just, oh Jesus, y'all! I just had a nerdgasm with the stupid I just came up with in my head. Okay, we have to find C4 at all costs, or make it. We have to acquire it.
All right, just real quick, because Eamon Fate's saying he can't link to your channels. I don't know if he can't link to your channel on Twitch or on YouTube, but I'm copying the links for both.
Oh man! Holy crap! Mike, did you not hear what I said? The plan that I'm about to show you, if it works, it involves C4. He didn't even flinch. He didn't blink. He must be real distracted.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure I get all the appropriate links out.
Holy crap! I need to. Oh my god. Okay. I'll be hopping over to your channel chat. Oh man, I'm not even gonna tell you. Not even off. Don't worry, stream. I'm not even gonna tell him off camera what I have planned because I want that reaction, that squeal of pure joy, to be natural when you guys hear it.
You want me to squeal?
You will. You'll do one of those.
I might squee.
Yes, you're gonna make oh. You will suffer some type of significant emotional event when you figure out what I'm trying to do. It requires.
Are you sure about that?
I'm
are you
100
positive about that?
I'm 100% positive. It might even get me killed, but I'm willing to sacrifice a community member to see this.
But you won't be right on top of the vehicle, so don't worry. Your characters could be just fine.
I will be in the vehicle for a certain amount of time until I'm not in the vehicle. This is something that me and my friend came up with when we were playing Mercenaries 2. And if it works in this game, we're going to need to find more vehicles.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Don't worry. I have a plan to take care of all those useless heroes before they get here.
Fear not, citizen. Hope has arrived because I am here to use some C4 and some zombies.
Oh my god. Yes, I will show you the true power of the dark side. As soon as I have everything set up. I'm building me a Death Star super laser. Okay.
So, thank you all for your patience as I grab those links and posted them. Thank you all so very much for joining us on this day for Pacific414 Pop Talk. Before we leave, do you guys have anything you want to promote?
I think you covered it.
Yeah. I mean, I got my channel, smoking _ patriot. I got old material. Well, it's old to me, to be new to you if you subscribe. And whatnot. Once I get a setup where I can actually properly keep my PC and everything in a single spot, I'm going to start doing some videos and live streams again and whatnot. So no ETA on that right now because things are still kind of fluidic to a degree for me. So, but yeah, go check out my channel. Talk a little bit of world cultural stuff, but a lot of it's usually in the nerdum realm, sci-fi movies, TV shows, stuff like that.
Sweet.
And TKO, Chaos, DDOD, depending on what name you want to go by. Anything you want to promote?
Yeah, you already did. Like I said, we're getting ready to hop over there and do some State of Decay 2 since, I'm too potent for Dying Light 2. And get my zombie slaying action in there and show you something that is truly going to make your head explode. Not from incredible and insufferable frustration due to pop culture, but due to the insanity and pure hell yesiness of my plan. Warning, disclaimer. It may get us one or both of us killed.
Like I said before, I have a bad feeling about this.
It's gonna work. It'll work. Trust me. I think.
All right. Okay, if you say so, but
my plans always work sometimes.
there we go. There was the hook right there. There was the main part right there.
That's my favorite line from Bad Boys 1. Freaking love it. Was it Bad Boys 1 or Bad Boys 2? But anyways, guys, thank you for checking us out over here. We're going to be doing some channel hopping and some zombie heart stopping or restopping or whatever.
And real quick, I do want to say that I haven't watched the latest episode of Peacemaker yet. I will probably watch it tomorrow. So I expect there to be a live Pacific414 episode review tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. Then be sure to join me on the Star Wars Guys channel. Hopefully Paul's feeling well enough that we can delve into season 2 of Star Trek The Next Generation for Tuesday Night Trek. So join us there. And then I'll be back Wednesday at 8 o'clock Eastern for your normal edition of Pop Talk. And then Thursday night at 8 o'clock, I will be giving my live review of episode 7 of Book of Boba Fett. And then Friday, over here on the YouTube channel and also on the Twitch channel, you can also find it over on Chaos's Twitch channel. It'll be Friday Night Frontiers. So, look forward to seeing you all then.
Oh, and yes, guys, I'll be streaming to Twitch because I haven't yet set up the dual stream to YouTube. Sorry for being a scrub, guys, but I'll be working to get that up as quickly as possible.
But last but and certainly not least, I want to thank the following for coming by into the chat. First, leading off, I want to thank Star Wars Theology. Thank you very much, Felix. Then, I want to thank Amen Fate. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Batting third, I want to thank Whoopa Troopa. Thank you, brother. And batting fourth, I want to thank the Padawannabe. Thank you, brother, for hopping by. Keep going. Gotta scroll up. And batting fifth, I want to thank Captain Trek. Thank you very much, brother. Really appreciate it. Scroll up more. Get to the number 6 batter. Well, of course, my co-host for today, DDOD, aka TKO, aka Chaos.
General Chaos. If you guys want to know, it stands for the Chaotic One, TKO. So technically, Chaos in form.
And of course, we have batting 8th, the Nerdporial Life Form. Thank you very much. Well, actually, batting 7th, sorry. And batting 8th, the lovely Sherry. And of course, let me get to him because he was here. And batting 9th, Spock's Friday Nights. So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for going through with us with all those articles before we got to the real reason why this whole thing was turned into a live stream instead of an 8-minute, 9-minute two-story recorded episode of the Pop Talk. I was about to call it the box score, but who knows if there's even going to be a baseball season this year.
Damn.
So, thank you very much. And if you liked what you saw here, please subscribe. Until next time, take care.
Later,
Peace out,
y'all.
guys.